good afternoon, Manchester, New Hampshire, and all the surrounding areas, people. We're going to have an exciting show with my good friend Ross Terrio, candidate for Alderman Ward 7.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I got it right. And then our friend John Hopwood, and then we got Mona Mouth here. I forgot your name. James, that's right. What's your last name? Oh, that's a hard name to remember.
Yeah, but that's
anyways.
Italian.
You know, yeah. And, before we go on, have you ever been to the Copper Door?
Yes.
Isn't
Great
it
restaurant.
excellent?
Once or twice, maybe twice. It's
okay.
expensive too.
Right. But I didn't pay for it, so it was even better.
Yo, that's free food is the,
Yeah,
tastes
always.
the best.
We went there, and I got to tell you, my friend Nancy Hagan took me there, and we went there, and the service had to wait to get in, but the service was just awesome. Brittany and Steve did a fantastic job. The cheeseburgers were, wow, really uptight there, the french fries. Can't say that name. You like fish chowder?
I like it. I wouldn't say it's my favorite thing, but I enjoy it.
Oh, my God. Have you ever been there, John?
No, I haven't.
You know what I really like? Fish chowder or beef stew in a bread bowl. Oh, that's great. You eat it, and
Yeah.
when you're done, it's all soaked with
Now I'm
something
getting
and you
hungry
eat it.
all over again, But we had such a great time in the service there. I did some readings on a couple of the waitresses there, It's amazing, What a way to get your reputation, right? I'm probably one of the most hated men on Facebook. You know that, right?
No.
Why?
I'm not changing my
Well, you're
views.
very outspoken
What? Isn't that what we're
on
supposed to be?
Facebook.
Not in Manchester.
No.
Manchester, we have a code of omerta.
I have a
it's like the
$15
mafia,
bounty.
silence.
Yeah. I have a $15 bounty on my head.
Only
That's
15.
Only
three times
15, so is it
That's not
worth
my-
it?
yeah, so-
Yeah, 5 more than
That's
what?
3 times what I have.
Uh-uh.
Here we go. We'll raise them. Now it's 20
Now
on
it's
your
20.
end.
Russ, okay. Now we're going to do a couple of I'm always serious, right? Anyway, what made you decide to run for Alderman?
So I had been on the school board, and the schools are important, but my son's graduating. This is his last year. He's a senior.
Yeah.
So, and serendipity, Mr. Shea, our current alderman, who's a great guy, is retiring. I like Mr. Shea. Probably wouldn't have ran against him. Plus, he's almost unbeatable anyway. He's been our alderman since, I believe, 1996. Former principal of Hallsville School. He's really hard to beat. So anyways, we had a talk last spring. He said he has had enough of being an alderman. He's retiring from that. He wants to run for the school board for 1 term, and then he's completely done. So just everything kind of fell into place all at once. And
Well,
he
he's
told me,
101
too.
years old, isn't he?
I think he's 88 or 89.
Well, he's a World War I veteran,
Yeah.
remember? He got...
He did, from what I hear, he was a highly respected
Oh, people love him. People love Bill Shea. And you had told me a couple of years ago, you said, not this election, but the next election, you're going to run for alderman, and I think you're going to win.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, I'm 98% sure.
Excellent.
Because you're getting out there. We got to beat that mayor we had today.
I'm working hard. Oh, the one thing, though, I just wanted to bring it, but not
Yeah.
that you can do anything
This
about
is your
this.
show.
Somebody stole my sign. I hate when people, because I'm doing everything on my own.
Two young
I go
kids.
door to door, and they stole my sign. And,
From your yard?
And no, I had a great sign placement on Silly and Cypress, which is the end of my street.
Yeah.
And it's just highly traveled road. And I was there yesterday afternoon, and I drove by this morning, and it was gone. And I don't have any more signs. I'm going to buy some more, and they cost a lot of money. But I'm self-funded, so it hurts. When
Folks, if you believe in our friend here, you can make a contribution to him by going to your Facebook or...
or they could just, I live at 130 South Cypress Street. They could just send me a donation, but that's fine. But
It's irritating.
I just wish people would, not steal my signs. That's,
Well, look what they did with Sullivan. They took her signs.
oh, well, that was the mayor, allegedly.
And she tried to say it wasn't her.
Although it was only her sign, nobody else's
Yeah.
signs were touched.
I have to say, I'm not impressed with either one of them.
Oh, you don't like Victoria or Joyce? What don't you like about Joyce?
She talks, and then I've invited her on my show. She makes all kinds of excuses and all that stuff. So
Yeah, that's not coming on the show, but what do you don't like about her as a mayor?
Yeah, but
I don't like her persona.
Okay. Now, what's your problem with Victoria?
I think Victoria. I think she's playing too much to the party and not to her own opinions.
Yeah. That's an impression I get from other people talking.
If
Exactly.
you
Now,
talk
you have a
to
crush on both of them, though, right?
Well, Joyce and I are both hoppy, and we both have... Well, if I still have my blonde hair.
Why do you call her Huppy?
she was Joyce Hopkins, so she was
Oh,
Hoppy
oh,
until
okay.
she married Mike.
Oh,
so we
I
have the
didn't-
same nickname.
I didn't know
And that
her,
means she's Welsh, and Hopwood is right near Wales. So
She,
we probably go back
related.
many.
And I was not impressed
generations.
with her. Her husband is part of the Sheen law firm, right?
He's definitely an
No,
attorney.
the Craigs are.
Craig
He has
Gatzoulis.
his own law.
He has his
firm.
law firm, Craig's
that's it.
Gatzoulis.
Oh.
He is the nephew of who's Bill Craig, who just recently passed, who was a very successful and powerful lawyer.
Yeah, and her husband's an
And
attorney.
Jim Craig was his son. He ran for the
Well, who's the
nomination
Sheen
for
and
Congress.
Craig? Then who Craig is that? And the Sheen
It's a
and
big
Craig?
family.
Yeah, yeah, it's a big.
Okay. I actually
It's
Dan-
Irish.
The Irish. I mean,
Hey, but Mike's part French Canadian because we're part French Canadian. Although he
When,
he changes his
Mayor
Spanish.
Craig there. I went to that senior citizen
The lobster.
luncheon. I had a great time. And I went on to the mayor, and he said, "I'm her husband, Craig, whatever his first name." I go, "Well, I'm not impressed," and I walked away. Well, you know me
Why
by
did
now,
he say that to you? Why did he say I'm her husband? What did he say?
because I hear a lot of bad things.
Oh,
And I asked the mayor to dance with me, and she did because if he's on TV, he can,
you danced with the mayor?
yeah. Then what's her name? Heidi Hordy or whatever.
Heidi
Hammer.
Horning.
Heidi
Hammer?
Hammer or whatever.
Heidi Horning Hamer,
Hammer,
who
yeah.
I've known since 1964.
Yeah.
We were in
Really?
the same kindergarten with Gary.
Holy
around.
cow.
She and I just don't agree on anything. And that's fine. You can't say things that you didn't vote. I said, yeah, I did. I voted after the
Actually, no, I like you as a friend, but I'm a little bit disappointed because you told me before you were going to run for office. Did you sign up?
No, because I know I can't beat Tammy Simmons.
But you could run for like clerk or moderator or
I have made up my mind, and with my son's blessing, I am going to definitely run the next term.
for
I
state
am going to
rep
run against Bill.
for alderman.
Why would you vote against Bill?
Just for the hell of it. Just because you know what?
You're the one who got me running.
Yeah.
Because he's the one who said you're going to be running for alderman at large. Remember that?
Yeah.
What about so next year is the state elections? What about like state rep?
I thought about that too. My son, I am so fortunate. My son is going to encourage me at whatever I want to do. He's Scott, and I've been together 23 years, and he's really been the backbone. So you know what? And I think of where I've been. I'm a poor boy from a small town,
Where are you from?
Springfield, New Hampshire. I'm right next to Bournemouth here. And he's from New London. When I grew up in Springfield, New London
yeah,
area.
small town.
And I grew up on the wrong side of the town, so to speak. The poor boy went up
The west side of Springfield.
Right.
I grew up
West
on the west side.
Springfield.
Every town has their own side.
But I put it on Facebook. I worked very hard to be where I am today. I'm pretty well known as a TV personality.
Oh, yeah.
Very outspoken. Of course,
Yes.
I would never be.
Well, you're a Leo, right?
I'm a triple Leo.
What? A triple? What?
I'm a triple Leo.
What does that mean?
That means I have more stronger power.
All right. So you're born. When was your birthday? August
August 6th.
6th. Okay. So how do you be a triple? So you.
Because a friend of mine did an astrology thing on me
Okay.
on TV.
Oh, so some of your other signs, like your Mercury or
Right,
your.
all that, yeah.
uh,
How's your daughter doing?
She's doing great. We went shopping today. She loves to go. So she's graduated from high school. She lives at home. My daughter has Down syndrome. Jordana, she's a sweetheart.
Wow.
I have two other kids. I have.
I love her coming on the
Alexandra
show.
and Anthony. She's an angel. She really is. I was, I didn't know anybody with Down syndrome growing up, so we didn't do any type of prenatal testing. So when my daughter was born, the doctor said, she has Down syndrome. We were shocked. But it's been a blessing in disguise. She's she's the sweetest girl, and she's always going to live with us. It's like having a permanent 7-year-old kid. So she's just always nice.
Whenever she wants to come on, and she can bring up. She writes poetry, right?
She likes to paint. She likes to write lyrics to songs.
Yeah.
She actually has a song. Oh, I wish I should have. Where is it? She wrote a song about she had cancer. And she beat cancer. She was up in Dartmouth for months and months, for probably 3 or 4
Up in
months.
Lebanon?
Yes. And she wrote a song about, being in the hospital and having cancer. I think the name of the title of the song is My Heart Prays for You. It's about, dealing with, the struggle of having cancer. But actually, I'm sorry, I lost track of what we were
Well,
talking
my
about.
nephew has Down syndrome.
Oh, she's a
And,
sweetheart.
yeah.
She,
But,
one thing about that, they have unconditional love. Either they don't like it or they like. As you know, I worked for 32 years as mentally disabled, and
Talk for a second. I'm gonna see if I think I can find the song on my.
Okay.
Well,
on-
just my nephew, my sister was 40, so there was the chance of it in the ultrasound,
Yeah.
but she just even though there was the great chance of having a Down syndrome, she had the child.
look
and
at how
doesn't regret
look
it.
what they're doing now. They had one young lady that's a fashion model that has Down syndrome.
Yeah.
You know, and back in the days when I was growing all that, you weren't accepted.
They're called Mongolian idiots.
Yeah.
And you were,
Well,
you were
my
quarantined.
dad and my family used to call me feeble-minded because I had a hard time learning and stuff.
There was actually a school for the feeble-minded up in Concord. There's a thing in the
Laconia.
1920s. Yeah.
In Laconia, yeah.
Oh, in Laconia.
That's
too?
where I worked. Yeah.
Oh, you worked at the school.
Yeah, for 22 years that I went to the nurse house.
Yeah, and I saw the sign, and it just because they preserved it, feeble-minded. Yeah.
All right, I got the song,
Okay.
so I'm gonna.
Do you have her permission
My
to read
heart prays for you. See if it. I'm just hoping that it'll play on the.
it? Okay.
Please.
You could send it to Brendan, and he could play it. He could put it up. That's a thing you could do.
Hold on. Oh, am I not gonna be able to play it? Sorry.
Can you play it on your...
All right, here we go. I
And
think.
put it up to the
I think.
microphone.
So she wrote the lyrics. Her music teacher wrote the piano, and she sings. Her music teacher's in the back because she has a speech impediment.
Christmas in a hospital bed. I had to keep the chill off your head. You'll never forget these days. Keep the memories. Keep your heart singing.
Sorry. All right, but you got a kind of a
Yeah.
feel for
That's awesome.
Yeah.
for
That, see, that makes my tears because, the one thing that I like about it, Ross, is you support whatever she does.
yes.
When so many families don't. And then she's always, as you know, she's having come on and sing that song. I'll have me come on again,
Or we could
I don't believe in disabilities. I really don't. Because I was considered, I couldn't talk or walk until I was 4 years old.
I couldn't walk. I didn't walk till I was 2.
Yeah.
They said I was just obstreperous, cantankerous.
My mother, my foster mother said that when I started saying my first word, she said, "You had to stop talking sense." The spirit has us go through all kinds of tribulations and all that. Even though you're a lawyer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I make my living as a
Yeah,
pharmacist.
yeah. But I mean, you could be a lawyer if you wanted to. But it wasn't easy for you to go to school, was it?
I love school. It was easy for me because I'm not like a really good. I don't have great social skills, but I love school. That was my thing because I like to read
I will
books.
tell you, you're going to be teaching in school.
Excellent.
Get your master's in private school so you can become a teacher. You really like what you do.
I do like being a pharmacist. Yes.
One of my questions is, now that what made you decide all in all to run for alderman?
So I was on I used to be a state rep for years.
Yeah.
2 years, sorry. I was on the school board for 3 terms. My son's graduating this year, so I still care about the schools, but I had been thinking about, being involved in city government, because I'm kind of unhappy. One of the things that I support is the tax cap, and to see it overridden, 4 times in the last 5 years or whatever they've been doing, I just don't agree with it. It's not sustainable. I look at, one of my hobbies is I'm kind of a boring person, and I like to look at other, governments around the country to see how they do things. I look at California, or Illinois, the city of Chicago, Connecticut, and one of the things they do is their only solution is to raise taxes. It's not sustainable. What happens is you scare people away. You scare the middle class people away who have to pay the taxes, and all you're left is with the very rich and the very poor. And that's I don't want to see that happen to Manchester.
That happened in California.
Yeah.
Well, the California, as I said many years ago, that California is actually destroying themselves. Look at Mother Nature, okay?
No water.
No. Look at, and the one thing I will predict, and I'm going to do, and it's already showing Louisiana having another, earthquake. Mississippi, all these little Puerto Rico's going to get hard again.
Yep.
Haiti is going to get hit. If you don't get rid of all this bad karma, or voodoo, or juju, or whatever you want to call it, if you
Bad karma and bad
karma.
because there is good.
If you start learning how to appreciate, I'm not going to say huggy, lovey, just be kind to each other. That's all that takes. And when someone like you, Ross, and I'm going to go on, I know that you will help keep Chris Hebert in line.
Chris Hebert's got a tough
I think he's going to lose the
primary.
election.
I hope so.
I mean, tough election.
Jim Roy is very popular, very well. He used to be the alderman.
How many years did he serve? At least
I don't
3
know,
terms.
but he was in the fire department for many years. He was a very popular and very well-known alderman. I like Jim. I've met him before. Nothing against Chris Hebert, but I think that Jim Roy is going to beat him. That's my prediction.
Then you're right, because
But that's a guess.
Chris Hebert and I really go at each other. We really do. He doesn't think senior citizens should be in Manchester.
Well, he thinks they should move away so that they can sell their house. And
He puts
young
it-
people can pay taxes.
Yeah.
He puts it in a very, what you'd say, infelicitous way
Right.
of what he means.
What he
But, okay,
what he was talking about was, when when you say you're a senior, you can get a discount on your
Yes.
taxes.
Yes.
That is what he says shouldn't happen. He was saying if you can't pay your taxes yourself, then sell your house,
Yeah.
because he didn't agree with helping them.
But he's the first one to accept the senior citizen discount.
but now that
He gets it?
He could.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
you can, if you can't pay your taxes, they won't foreclose on you, but
Really?
they'll take them later on. Yeah, because my mother had a very deep discount. She was born in 1926, and she took time out to have kids. She worked after World War II, then she had kids, baby boom. Then she had to go back to work in 1970. But women were paid like $50 a week, literally, which wouldn't be very much. And so her pension was so pitiful. It's like people like Barbara Shaw, who were school teachers of that time. They barely get any
I
type
thought
of
she was a
pension.
fire person.
No, she was a
She was
school
a school
teacher.
She might have had a kid that was in the fire department,
No,
but she
no.
was a school teacher.
You're thinking fire department because at the time that controversy, you had Norm and that she was teacher and her daughter was a teacher.
Who's
But
the one
people-
who's the female that got hurt in the fire department?
Oh, that was from
Betsy
Ward
DeVries.
8,
Betsy
who ran
DeVries.
against Betsy DeVries.
Oh, okay.
She was the only
Barbara
woman
Shaw
president.
is something else.
But
I like Barbara.
we all
I
like
call her
Barbara.
Babs.
I do too. But they got paid so pitifully. So my mother, we would give her money to pay her taxes and everything, but they were very low. She needed that discount, and she had my father's World War II discount as a veteran. So,
Now,
but
what
elderly
happened to all
people
that?
are essential, I think, to creating and maintaining a community. The continuity. You just can't have young people churning through a neighborhood.
I where I live in an apartment, and when we're
Right.
doing it all over.
Are you on the
and,
west side?
Yeah,
Of course he
the
is.
forgotten side. I tell everybody.
You need a passport to get over there.
Right.
The Riviera of Manchester.
Right.
Oh,
that's gonna be-
Coolidge Ave is the Riviera.
Yeah.
The French
Right.
Canadian Riviera.
But where I live, I get along with all my neighbors. I'm thinking about having a block party. You can be one of the guest speakers.
Oh, we should
Can I
organize
ask you a
one.
question? Do you
Yeah.
live in elderly housing?
No.
All right, because we were having a discussion earlier about how elderly housing has become dangerous because they put young, mentally ill, alcohol and drug
they're putting
They have
disabled
abused.
within
Yeah.
with the
Yeah,
elderly,
yeah.
which is not. It's
Well,
it's a
when it
disaster.
first started out, it was for the elderly only.
Yeah, then somebody had
Right,
a bright
to protect
idea
them.
of putting everybody in there.
Now
That's
they
the
got
federal
fixed to
government.
the federal. Now they got. I applied one time for it. They said a 6-year waiting
6
list or
to 8
whatever.
years, yeah.
And you know what? I don't. Let's give it to the illegal immigrants. Let's give it to the people who, as long as I can breathe, I pay my own rent, which is affordable. I have a pretty nice apartment, and now that I've lost 40 pounds, I go out and
Excellent. What did you do to lose 40
Nothing.
pounds? You didn't do like a special diet?
No,
Wow.
no, smoked a lot of pot.
You don't get the
Doesn't that
munchies?
usually make you eat more?
Well, yeah, but I'm a firm believer in legalizing.
I bet you feel better though. I mean, you
Oh, I
sleep
do.
lighter.
I've been out there. I got.
sleep easier,
It's
you
so
walk
cool.
easier.
I get my hot section short summer. Nobody ever blows the horn at me.
You have a
know.
speedo?
Yeah, but
You
they
gotta
still
wear
don't
your
blow
Speedo.
the. Yeah, they don't blow the horn anymore. Gets on too old, But I am enjoying this in the last 6 months to a year, Scott and I had done a lot more things together, and I mowed a lawn. I went with electric lawnmower because I don't want to gas because that pollutes
that's
the
cool.
that pollutes the air.
Yeah.
So I had one of those little. And I put my little pinky up when I'm mowing the lawn. You know, the other day I got stung, but that's okay. You know. But you know,
Want to hear something dumb? You just reminded me of my neighbor who unfortunately passed away. But
Uh-oh.
a very nice elderly woman. When we first moved into my house 20 years ago, I didn't have a lawnmower. Well, I take that back. My dad gave me remember those old
Reel.
manual
Yes.
ones?
Reel.
Oh, I had one
It
of
looked like a
those.
bunch of sickles, like
Yeah.
rounds.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I-
had
It
one.
was very hard to use.
I had that all the
And
time
It was
for
an old
years.
sickle one.
Yeah.
But she's like, so my neighbor, who was a very nice woman, Claire Jacob, she a nice French Canadian woman. She said, "You can borrow my lawnmower," but it was an electric. It was a plug-in electric.
Yeah.
So she gave me this like 50-foot cord.
My mother had one of those.
And I
Yeah.
ran over the cord.
oh
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
So I had to go down to Home Depot and buy a new cord. But you talking about that just reminded
That
me.
was my
it so
mother.
dumb.
I had to buy her 100-foot cord because her lawn was
Yeah.
so big. But then she
But I
got
ran it over. I wasn't paying attention because I'd never used an electric lawnmower before.
Lucky you didn't get a shock.
Yeah. But then, so I had to. So that was the last time I went out and bought one.
Yeah.
But I bought her a new electric cord, and I was like, "That's enough. I'm not going to."
By the way, she's thanking you for keeping an eye on her. I'm going to give you a message from her. Okay, you were neighbor for quite some time.
Yeah, about 2000 to. But when she went into a nursing home, about 3 or 4 years, so 15 years. Yeah, quite a while.
You kept an eye on her, didn't you?
Yeah, I visit her a lot. have
And
coffee
you,
with her.
you always made her feel better. She told me you made her day. Thank you. Okay, and she adored your children. Your children are very well respectful of older people.
I have to say, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but we did a
wrong
good
with
job
that?
raising my kids. I mean, they don't use drugs. They're not, they might have had a drink once or twice, not that I know of.
Yeah.
But, see, my wife's from South America, so alcohol is treated differently down there. Like, kids can have a cup of wine with their parents. It's not abused, you know what I mean? So, because my wife's family's from Brazil, and they're not, they
Tell her to
don't-
run for school board.
Did she ever done ayahuasca? Yaga? Hallucinogenic.
Oh,
plant?
no, she's never, no, my wife.
Tell her to run for school board.
I'll tell her. She hates politics, though. She doesn't. She hates me
Good
being
for
on the
her.
school board. I'll tell her that, but
She will.
she's a smart. I have to say, my wife's very impressive. So she came here when she was 20 years old. She didn't speak any English because she spoke Portuguese. She can speak French and Portuguese. I'll take that back.
You should have moved to the west side.
Spanish and Portuguese,
Oh, yeah.
not French. I misspoke.
Oh,
Spanish.
okay.
She speaks Portuguese and Spanish. She didn't learn English until she was 20. Had a lot of menial jobs, working, a cleaning woman, working in restaurants, and then 15 years ago, she went back to UNH and became a civil engineer. So I'm very proud of
wow.
her. She's a very smart person. A whiz at math. When it comes to math, she's like a genius. She's taken like advanced math classes in college. I had a hard time with algebra and struggled with calculus, but my wife, when it comes to math, she's a genius.
My son's the same way, and I don't know how I passed college to do what I do, but you know what? We are all special. And it's okay to toot your own horn. You did a great job, right? Doesn't make you-
My kids have turned out well. I'm
Didn't
very
that
happy
make you a
with that.
winner?
Didn't one of your kids is going to Harvard?
Dartmouth.
Dartmouth, which is a great,
It's
excellent
kind of
school.
it's a step
You got a
down.
child that's going to Harvard?
No, Dartmouth.
Dartmouth.
She
That's
goes
a
to
great
Dartmouth.
school.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
She's pre-med. She's graduating this year also, and her hope is to go to medical school.
She's not getting
No
an
hope she's
Elizabeth
gonna know.
Warren scholarship, is she? 'Cause, if you're Native American.
No, well, she is Latina.
My mother used to say she was a Native American because she had a picture. My Grammy was Native American. And you're thinking, if that could only be true, you can get into Dartmouth.
If you're
for
1/8,
free.
then you can
Dartmouth
prove
was
it.
Right,
actually
but
started.
we
That
couldn't
was
find
the origin of
anything.
Dartmouth. Was started in like
For an
70
Indian school,
to start
yeah.
educate
For red-
Indians. That
yeah.
was the purpose.
Red Indians, what they call
I have a
them.
very good friend of mine. In fact, I'm going to a Republican meeting in Bedford. And, well, it's kind of like her father is from, he went to Dartmouth. The whole family are all college material people. And the fun part is we get together, we talk about politics right there at No Tomorrow. And I enjoy slamming, so, Who do you think the Democrats have running as a candidate for president that you anybody could even feel trustworthy of? Besides Pocahontas.
I think that Joe Biden, although he has a lot of gaffes and he's kind of.
But he always did, even when he's young. Remember?
I think he's probably their strongest candidate. I think Bernie's too far left.
Oh,
I don't think Elizabeth Warren's likable, and that's really big. If people don't like you, even though you're qualified, they're not going to vote for you. Trying to think. There's some other ones that I don't know much about. Amy Klobuchar.
She's there too.
I kind of
They're
like.
not even-
I'm looking at Joe Biden being the heavy candidate.
I think he's going to be
But he's not going to win.
the nominee. You think Trump's going to win again?
Absolutely. The sad part is he's going to win, and he's going to serve 3.5 years because of due to health issues.
Oh, he's going to retire. He's going to leave early.
He has no choice.
Huh.
And Pence will take him. I just don't ever want to see Nancy Pelosi or
Nancy's 78 years old.
Really? She looks
She was
great
my
for her age.
congresswoman when I was in California.
She looks very young for
She
her.
was in her-
She
one
looks-
of the things that one of the things I think that even in the New Hampshire governorship or state reps or aldermen or Congress people, there should be an effing time limit on it.
Time limits, yeah.
They should have a term limits on the local government. Municipal government should have term.
You know, if
term
people,
limits.
the
Well, you know what they
sad
could
part
do?
is-
A hybrid of that is have term limits. You got to leave for a term, and if you want to run again, you can. But you've got to leave. You can't continuously. You can't serve more than like 2 or 3 terms.
Right.
You break, and if people want you back, they can
No,
vote you back in.
I'd put this pure term limits. They have them in California.
You know,
State,
yeah.
federal.
Well, they have them on
you
the
can't.
The
president.
thing is, if people have to be that naive, look at O'Neill. He's been in that a long time.
Talking about
right?
Danny O'Neill?
Yeah. Isn't he the alderman at large?
He's been alderman at large since
Well,
the office was created.
Mr.
Then he was
Hopwood
the
here-
alderman from Ward 3 before
Yeah.
that.
Mr. Hopwood here is trying to take him down, like a
I'm
mafia
not running,
hitman.
I'm not running against anybody.
You're running.
He
alone?
actually had. You don't tell him, but he's got one of those AK-15s. If he,
Oh, I know.
And he's got a "Make America Great" hat again.
Yeah.
Too. An AR-15 and a MAGA hat.
there you go.
I haven't had an AR-15 in my hand since I was in the Army,
Yeah.
and like M16.
My son gave me my Keep America Great because he's.
Have
very
you had
much
any problems wearing that hat? Do people?
A couple
give
of
you a hard
times,
time?
yeah. I've gone to restaurants and I went to a store. They don't want to wait on me. And they change waitresses and all that, and I do it purposely. I also have a T-shirt that says, "When our president's the only president that has the balls to do what he says he's going to do."
Well, you're a Leo. See, I'm a Virgo. I'm not confrontational like
I'm
that.
on
You're a
actually.
virgin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Virgo,
actually on
so-
HBO.
HBO.
Yeah.
Oh, they got you outside?
Yeah, outside there, you got me on HBO.
Doing what?
When
He
my
was outside of the rally.
honey, I was in the Queen mode.
Oh, at the Trump rally.
Right.
Oh, so you're on the news.
Right. Let me tell you, I had you could hear it better outside than you could in
They
there.
had a jumbotron, right?
Yeah.
They-
I met so many new people.
What do you think of Mayor Craig trying to shut down the jumbotron?
She's a loose cannon.
so you're saying, where's the proof that she did that?
I saw it on Joe Kelly Levass's page. It
Oh,
showed her.
And you
and
know,
Joe-
Joe won't why.
Well, Chief
Joe would never
Fire
say
Chief
anything.
Goonan, they had a picture of her and the chief at the rally
Yeah.
in front of the jumbotron, so it looked like.
And
she-
then there's a pile of Sullivan signs that someone took a picture of at the
they
place.
said
a
that
dump.
she was
Yeah.
improperly late and putting the signs out.
Yeah, but you know what? I see improper signs all over the place. Nobody touches them. The DPW didn't touch them. I see lots
Joyce
of
Craig
signs.
didn't
I'm
make
waiting.
the complaint.
Who made the complaint?
I don't know, but I talked to Bill Berry and he called up.
But why
Bill
would
Berry told me that too, but I don't.
Why would
I believe Bill.
Why
Bill,
would only
Bill wouldn't
Victoria's?
lie to me.
I've seen lots of candidates' signs improperly placed, and they didn't get touched.
And which ones were there? I didn't see anybody's candidates.
I only saw
signs.
Sullivan's
I
signs
just
at the
saw.
dump.
No, then Craig's
I didn't see any signs there.
Huh?
Craig's signs were there.
No, I'm saying
No, Joyce
Victoria
Craig
Sullivan's
doesn't put-
signs
You
were
know
taken
what?
down and gone to
Lee,
the dump, right?
folks,
Yep.
even if you don't agree, if Ross puts his sign out and you have one stolen,
And it was in a private
That's
yard. It was in a
part of
woman-
Believe
like
'em.
when Phil
It was in a
Griozzi
private
was
yard.
Alban at Ward 10, you couldn't keep a sign up.
what
You
would,
know?
you know,
We
Phil,
were always
actually, Phil was on
assets.
2 weeks ago.
People were always signs always disappeared.
Phil was
Well-
on my show 2 weeks ago.
Phil Griazzo? Oh, yeah, I saw the picture.
Yeah.
Is it 2 or
One
1?
of the things I am going to put 3 big Trump signs on my yard. I already asked the landlord
Careful.
permission.
A
And I
woman
am
for
going to
Trump?
have,
You better lock him down or something.
oh, I dare. I'll put a curse on them.
Oh, you know what I saw on Facebook? It was kind of funny. Somebody had a bunch of Trump signs in their yard, and they put a piece of, like a 2x4 or something, with nails in it under each side.
Yeah.
Because people were driving in the guy's yard and running the signs over. So they showed it. He ran all the signs down, but he got flat tires, and then he took pictures of the guy in the street changing his tire.
Well, what I'm gonna do, I'll put one of those medieval spells on my signs.
Electrify it. Just put.
When they touch it, go, you know, like John would touch something, you know. But
That's just his palsy, or St. Vitus stance, right? St. Vitus stance.
my neighbor, he's gonna,
Vitus.
for my neighbor last year when Hillary was running, he had one of these hospital potty chairs, you know, and he says, had a big picture, if you wish to donate, here's a chair to donate in. So my neighbors, I'm very fortunate. We have a lot of people from different countries that live in my area. And you know what? It's not, even though we may not always speak the same language, I gotta tell you, we all get along well.
Where are they mostly from?
We had someone from Nepal.
Yep, a lot of
And
Nepalese.
we got
people
some from the
There's some
Dominican,
Africans in the West Side.
a lot of them. And I want you playing basketball. On the next one, and there's one white, tall, skinny guy. Let me tell you, he doesn't look that powerful, but when he gets going, they want to go after him. They land on their buttocks.
Well, you know who's a great basketball player, and you never know it? John Hopwood. John C.
Why are
Hopwood.
you saying he's not even an alderman yet, and he's lying? You know, my father lived next to Spike Webb.
They won't let me play sports.
I still think you should
It's like
change your name to
5%.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, but
There you go. He's a replica.
I'll put a
of him.
hex on you, buddy.
because people wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Did you hear remember what the professor Petrush said about my mother and the hex?
What did he say?
What you
I hope
might
he didn't say
want-
anything bad about you.
You might wind up with one on you.
Yeah. You know the one thing that I do know that you're not afraid to speak your opinion when you're on the board. You may be a doobie and you're going to listen, but you're going to be on for 6 terms.
Whoa, that's a long time.
You know,
I actually
get
see you
Social
running for mayor.
Security.
That would be awesome.
But I would need money to run for mayor.
Well, we'll make sure we help
Hey,
you.
that will happen.
We can get that party seat out there.
Yeah. And you know, it's going to be a tough battle between Victoria and Joyce Craig.
Yeah.
Why do you think
Unfortunately,
it's going to be tough?
I don't know.
it's going to be really close.
People aren't.
no,
I'm
not
going
at
door
all.
to door, and a lot of people aren't happy with Mayor
No.
Craig.
You know what's
When
one
I'm
thing I've heard people don't like? That she did a double standard on the budget. Remember she gave her budget, which was
Budget has to be
that was
tax
for the
cap
tax cap,
compliant.
Yeah.
and then they actually passed her real budget that actually overrode the tax cap.
First off, under the charter, and Moss won't tell you this
I'll tell
because
you.
he's going to play his tax cap card.
Yeah.
A mayor has to put in a tax cap compliant
Yes.
budget. That's
But
it.
the mayor can also talk to people behind the scene and say, hey,
Yeah.
override this
And-
budget. I want you to bust the tax cap because I
Right,
want to
in
spend money
2015
on, a
to
statue to
2015,
myself or something.
Ted Gatzis didn't even bring in the budget because he was $7 million in the hole because of Hooksett going out. He took every alderman in his office and said to them privately, I will support, I'll let you go I want an override, but it's got to be under 4%. Then he had Billy Shea, and I think, who was the other guy? Was it Tommy? That
Oh,
came
Cassie
up
Antonis, yeah.
with their budget,
Yeah.
which was going to put $1 million into dolling up City Hall. And then there was the Craig Long budget that mostly targeted what was raised to Chief Mara was asking for a full complement of police. If you remember, that was the spice epidemic. That's when crime really starts putting down its roots. So they all play certain games. But,
The alderman at large are going to fix this, right?
well,
You could hire
there's only so much you can do.
You could hire 100 police officers. You got to keep them out of Dunkin' Donuts. You got to keep them out of coffee breaks. You know.
The
a lot
no,
of
they
it
only
is-
eat bagels now.
A lot of it is culture.
Where we live, we can call the police. If we get them there in an hour and a half, we'll be lucky.
Wow.
And the one thing and I am so tired of sending all this money to the homeless help the homeless, I am so tired of that. If these people want help, there are so many agencies out there, as you know, that are more than willing to help them.
But Norm, you know about the agency. Remember when you went to Easter Seals for help? What happened?
They're a bunch of crap. I went to, I retired from nursing, and I stayed my life sober.
Yep.
So I went to the book rehab to learn either to be a chef or whatever. They sent me to Easter Seals. Now, I'm retarded. Maybe I don't even know
right.
it, you know. And she sent me to Easter Seals. I said, why am I here? She said, oh, we're going to help you get a job. I go, you are? I said, why? She said, well, they took me on, remember Clam King?
Yeah.
Clam King, all right.
Yeah, they took me
yeah.
to Clam King, right? And they were going to have me set out the dishwasher. And I looked at her, I said, you're out of your mind. And she looked, she said, oh, you're pretty well dressed. I said, oh, thank you. I said, oh, I'm not wearing socks. She goes, oh, I see that. I said, oh, and by the way, I'm not wearing underwear either. And she said, huh? I said, you know what, let's you and I have an agreement. You keep your statistics and I'll go my own way, okay? Because all these agencies, as far as I'm concerned, the CEOs and all that, they're overpaid, and then all these clients are numbers.
At
And if
least
you
They
want to
get
call
paid,
it,
yeah.
if
You
you
got
want to
to
call
speak
and
to somebody.
disagree with these people, the number is area code 603 640 3091.
No, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So is John, what do you think John's chances are for his Alderman at large race?
I'm last on the ballot.
I think you're going to get maybe 150 votes.
See, I was hoping for him to get elected, and then that would improve his standing with the ladies, and he'd have to get a lady friend. Do you think that, because women like powerful men,
Yeah.
and then if
Well,
Alderman at large,
But John is too much of a loose cannon for me.
no, yes.
When you're talking, can we just go back to the Easter seals? At least you got to talk to somebody. Up at the Veterans Administration Hospital, they talk about, they have people there that say they're from like Easter seals. They have this thing, Veterans Count. Then you find out they don't work for they're just shills. And then you keep asking for help. They don't even get back to you.
No.
You go there, and they say, all our people in the field. That's why they're not calling you.
Yeah, yeah.
Can't get anything out of them. Now, he still did great with my mother who had Alzheimer's. That was great. But then you're up there at the VA, and you talk to a social worker. They talk about the stuff,
But
that
they do
it's
nothing.
there, but if they don't want to deal with you, they don't have to because it's a charity. And then there was the guy who just killed himself, who stole all the money from his charity.
Oh, yes,
And
yes.
then they left out the part that just the year before, Catholic Charities had acquired his charity. And then Mike Pence was coming to New Hampshire, and he's going to meet somebody at part of the what I call the drug rehab industry with a
that's a
charity, and then they have to cancel it because the guy was busted selling fentanyl.
Yep.
I mean, and I know people. It's an industry, but
You
they
know-
have to. You can have the need. That doesn't mean they have to.
No.
They have to do anything with you or have anything to do with you.
Didn't question mark, didn't the Honorable Mayor Craig start a committee for the homeless people and have someone that she knows getting $100,000 a year?
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't hear about
That where do you hear that? Because if you're hearing from that Granite Grok is a
Oh,
I'll just
no,
say it's an
from Mr.
unreliable
Joseph
source.
Kelly.
But you're talking about Joe Kelly Lavasser.
But she never denies it. And there is a
I'm
committee.
going to tell you truthfully, I don't
I only met
understand.
3 times.
I don't understand why all this pornography of what I call pornography of lies isn't met. Why she and Democrats don't come out and rebut stuff that's easily refutable.
Then
I don't understand.
Then it
that.
has to be true.
It isn't true. It's just
Then
I
I went, you
understand.
know what?
The
Every
attitude, if I
time-
don't, the attitude seems to be, and this seems to be a thing about the Ray Buckley party before Joyce Craig. I guess Ray, I wasn't here, made his bones, like on a show and with a rubber chicken and this and that. But he has such a tight control of that party. He doesn't want anything. This is my opinion. He can sue me just like Gatz did. I don't have anything.
Yeah, the puck
But
pissing.
they, he's got such a tight control of that party. People are afraid to come on your show. People are afraid to do anything. It's almost like I call like the young Democrats Giovanista Fascisti. That was in Italy, young fascists. They're all in like this lockstep line and everything. They all have these things they're talking about. Like all of a sudden it's this issue that is congruent with a national party and raising money. But look at the stuff. We have the elderly people. Nobody speaks to them about the elderly people living in terror.
Let me ask you a question, and kind of on the same
And other
line.
issues. There's sexual...
John,
sexual
let
violence.
him ask a question.
He doesn't want to. He can't handle the truth.
We always
What-
have a...
so I'm kind of happy that you finally got off the pot and ran for office. Did anybody give you a hard time from the Democratic Party for running for alderman at large?
Well, what happens in the Ray Buckley parties? You just get
No,
frozen
no,
Well,
no.
you're told not
Answer
to. You're
the
told not to
question.
run.
No.
Okay.
Did
But the
anybody
Ray
contact
Buckley...
you?
But you have to listen. You get frozen out. Like Joel Elber.
But
when
did
he
anybody
ran, frozen
contact
up.
you and say, "Oh, you shouldn't have ran," or
No, and I'll tell you this: Joyce Craig on the West Side tonight is going to have a West Side organized party with candidates. I was never contacted,
they're good
but
at
Bill
planning.
Barry told me about it. He says, "Why don't you come?"
the reason why I ask is because allegedly, I don't know if this is true, but
was
Jim
Joe Kelly.
O'Connell, who's running for all school board at large, was contacted by somebody and read the riot act because he wasn't supposed to run for office. Have you talked to Jim about that?
I haven't talked to Jim. He was in Ireland.
Wow.
Didn't you had trouble when you had?
Are you
RJ
revealing?
Yeah,
who's
Glenn
your
Ouellette
source for that?
side.
We'll talk afterwards.
Well, he had trouble because he had Glenn R.J. Ouellette's size in his car.
What happened?
They put syrup. They put chocolate sauce, whipped cream on my car, and left me a note saying, "It's not the candidate you're running for. It's you don't understand. So if you keep this up, we're gonna do something about you."
But it is a Republican office holder that said that you shouldn't vote for
Right.
Glenn R.G.
Who said
And
that?
who's
Yes.
that?
Yeah.
I'll let you.
Casey Hirschman.
Well, Glenn told me
Yeah.
it's both.
Well, he's
Both Lavasser and Hirschman are saying that it's them saying that not to vote for Glenn. You know, it's throwing away your vote. And Glenn's going to go up to Concord to the state. I don't think I'm revealing anything because he told
No.
us that.
Yeah.
I think he was on Matt's show.
Yeah.
He's going to go up to see.
You know why he's
Secretary of
you know why
State.
he's doing that? Because he's going after MUR because MUR had that thing on the two candidates, and they left him out, and they said it's just because the city's supposed to be nonpartisan.
But that's WMUR is not the city.
But, I mean,
It's
No.
private.
But what I'm saying is, the two were saying when they were questioned that they were the only two running.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's WMUR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
they've
private.
never, you
You
know,
say
no,
anything you
they've
want.
never ever recognized Glenn running.
Well, the
The
Glenn's
union
problem
leader
is,
said I was working
what
for
did he
Joyce
usually
Craig,
get, like
which is
100
a
or
lie.
150 votes?
Yeah.
He got 300 last time.
Okay.
No, he got less than 100.
Be upfront. What do you say?
Yeah.
Goodness,
He's
that-
run more than once.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, I think he's. I don't think it matters because he, for whatever reason, only gets about 150 votes.
But you know what? I give him credit for
But he
running.
should run. He wants to run. I've always encouraged him to run for mayor because that's what
That's what America's
democracy is
about.
about. It's about choices. You don't want an election where you just have one person running, or you have somebody who's really strong
Well,
and
look
really
at the
weak.
Kennedys. They controlled this country for how many years?
I mean, that's a
The
problem. Because
Bushes.
I used to live in Mass. Senator Kennedy, it didn't matter who ran against him; they were going to lose. He was a senator for what, 35 years?
Yeah,
40?
but that's
Well,
true.
look
from the
at,
60s until
Yeah.
2000.
Well,
40
look at
years.
what's his name there. He's been in there for years and years. The state senator.
Lou D'Alessandro.
D'Alessandro.
So in
And
those
I for
kind
him
of
to go.
cases, you don't have a choice. But it's good
You should
to have.
run against. You should run against
Oh,
him.
you can. Yeah,
Hey,
you
there
can
you
run
go.
against
What's
him.
he- what's that do next
He's
year,
another
right?
one like Ted Kennedy. You're gonna lose if you run against him.
Well, I think Norm, I will donate to your entrance fee, the sign-up fee, if you run against Lou D'Alessandro.
Now,
next
when's
year.
that due? Next year, right?
Next June.
Next year.
You offered to give me $50 to run in the.
Did I?
Remember, you wanted me to run for mayor. You run the
Oh,
Matt's
well, you
show.
didn't run for mayor.
No, because
So you
I
keep your
needed another-
$50.
I needed another $50.
So you welched
is
on
there a
your
fee for-
agreement. See?
I
You welched
disagree with having to
Anyway.
pay.
I will pay. I
Okay.
will give you money if you run for state senate against Lou
You
D'Alessandro.
heard that, folks.
Oh,
I'm gonna run.
now we'll send that up to Bill.
Okay, we got that. And I'm a strong advocate in the Republican world. I believe in gun rights.
Yep.
Another thing I
Gay
do
rights.
believe in legalized marijuana. I also believe in the gambling. I think we should have that.
Yep.
think it should
And
be for
also, one of the things I do believe in, higher and better education in this state. We have all the money. Where is all that money going to? And that's out. And the CEOs are like Easter Seals. The CEO, I see where Maureen is doing Easter Seal director now, the one who
know
started the housing transition. And what? You gotta go?
I got to move my car. I'm gonna
Oh,
be.
okay.
You're here for another hour,
right.
All right. I'm gonna leave in about 5 minutes. Gonna move my car.
Okay.
and I'm gonna come back.
Well, go ahead
But,
now, 'cause I'm gonna
but
take
no,
a
I want
break.
to talk about your
Okay.
state senate race.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited about that. So would you run?
I absolutely will.
So what? It's August now. So next June you got 10 months.
Okay.
I think the sign-up fee is like $100.
Okay.
I'll pay it for you
All right.
if you agree to run. For
I will
state
run.
senate.
I can't. And you know what?
Are you the one who paid for Glenn this year?
I donated money to Glenn.
You
So
know, I
you're
like-
the one that put Glenn up.
I gave him money.
How much?
That's your right. That's your
Yeah.
personal
You
right.
can never
No
ask
one
the
can tell you
person how
not to.
much
Why not? It's rude.
because it's personal.
I'm friends with Glenn, and he said, "Would you like to donate to my campaign?" And I did. I've.
You should have just let Victoria have a ride through.
Hey-
no
hey,
problem.
Why?
Well, he's for Victoria.
So what?
I support Victoria.
Yeah.
Can I ask you one question?
Sure.
What do you think of the I mean, I'm trying to ask your where you stand. What do you think of the rising rents in this city?
So
Do you think it's going in the wrong direction?
I actually, there's a lot of, I've been thinking about that. I think I was just looking, there's only like a
Holy
1%
smoke.
vacancy rate. There's like no empty apartments. When you have no empty apartments, it's going to jack up the cost of rent.
That's why I believe in rent
Part of the
control.
problem is we need people to build. We can't have what do you call, when you
NIMBY?
when you
Not
discourage people from building
backyard.
apartments, we need developers to come in and build lots of apartments. The other thing I was thinking about, and hear me out, sometimes I just like to think about things. We're talking about rail coming into Manchester. I think that would be a disaster for apartments, because what would
Okay.
happen? It would be gentrification. You have all these people coming up from Massachusetts, buying houses and renting apartments. These people are working, well-paying jobs in Mass. All the poor people and all the elderly people in Manchester would be priced out. Our homeless population, I think, with railroad, with a train coming up to Manchester, would skyrocket. That's what I
I think because of hobo, they might leave, leave like hobos.
Maybe.
No.
But I
Welcome
think
to North Community
increase our
Corner.
homeless population.
Hello, guys. How you doing?
Hey, how
Hello.
you doing, Mary?
Not too bad, are you?
Not too bad. Mary, Saturday
I'm
at
listening
4.
to you guys, what's going on, and
Yeah.
yeah, I think it should be. You take the aldermen. I think they've had too many years in there. Especially one wants to take the seniors and shove them out to Florida and everything. What happens to the rest of the seniors that that's having a hard time? Can he ship them out by bus to Florida the way he wants to?
He's going to try.
Cruising.
He ain't shipping me out like
That's
he
Mary.
guarantee
Oh,
you
no,
that.
no.
Oh, you're coming
Yeah,
back.
yeah, that's
what's going
Mary.
on?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got a question for Ross?
how you doing, Rob?
Hi, Mary, you have a show, right?
Yeah, I do.
I'm going to be on your show on my birthday, September 5th.
Yep, well, that's
I'm
okay.
looking forward to that.
Well, you see, you're not afraid. The other candidates don't come on.
Well, I need the publicity, you know what I mean? I don't have
Ross
any
is
money.
so handsome. He's Kennedy-esque.
He's going to do
Doesn't
the
he?
pole dance.
Oh,
I'm gonna borrow Norm's
The shorts.
Speedo.
There you go.
or Joel
Hey,
Embers. We can get
one thing that Mary and I discuss a lot, Joe, Ross, is the outrageous prices that she has to pay for her syringes because she's
it's
diabetic.
awful.
Yeah.
Seniors
And
are
yet the homeless get them for nothing. I have
Well,
a
heroin
problem with
addicts,
that.
yeah, the heroin addicts, yeah.
I have a problem with that.
You know what you do? Mary, you tell them you're a
I hear you
Tell-
talking,
Yeah.
we, like I told before, him and I should run for rep.
I just got Mary.
How about it?
You run with me. I'm going to run for state senate.
against
I
Lou,
told you that next year,
Yeah,
maybe he won't get any votes.
against
but
the
I
Lion
don't
of the
care.
Senate, Lou
Yeah,
D'Alessandro.
dude, I've got to grow a lion.
That'll be
Yeah,
fun.
Lou D'Alessandro.
Well,
but you're a triple Leo. He's only a
Yeah, there you
single.
go.
I'll
I'm gonna start
guarantee there won't be
politicking.
somebody coming up to me say you have to vote
You
the
and I
way
come
I
on
vote.
together, Joe.
Because I will vote my way.
Right.
Mary, can you speak French?
Do I? A little bit.
Excellent. From the West Side?
I am a Frenchman.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Are
Oh,
you
yeah.
Francais?
Very little. I took it in school, and I remember my alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, and I can remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Can you
6,
at least
7, 8, 9,
remember
10.
comment
I can remember to count to 10, and I know a few phrases. Comme allez-vous? Quel âge tu es? L'autobus.
Obscenity.
I know the dirty word.
But I'm sorry.
Me too.
My family hasn't
You
spoken
can't say
French in
over there.
100 years, probably.
I learned French from the nursing homes.
I'm gonna move my car, and I'll be right
Okay.
back.
Well, I'm going
You
to take
need
a pause here.
reparations.
John, you want to?
No,
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
got to
gonna
go to
move
the
my car
restroom.
to-
So, yeah,
for
come
the
back up.
parking ticket.
John, you want to take?
I'll be right
You
back.
want to take for about till I come back?
Oh,
too?
sure.
Okay, Mary, I got to let you go because I got to take a run.
Alright.
And Saturday between 4 and 5, Mary.
Alrighty, we'll catch you later.
Okay, bye bye. Yep. Sit right over there, Jordan. So I'm running to the bathroom. So
Oh.
you want to take over the show for till I
Oh,
get
okay.
back? You know, you can talk for
Are we
5 to 10
on?
minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going to be coming back. So
Okay.
talk about what you want to talk about. Okay, then we'll
Okay.
back down. All right.
I'll move over when he
Yeah.
gets back.
Okay. So John, if you were alderman at large, here's my question for you.
I answer my 3 questions for the union leader.
Okay, if you were running for alderman at large, I want you to give 3 platforms of what you would try to do.
3 what?
Platforms.
Well, I have 3.
Okay.
Talk
Tell
about
me-
it.
Yeah. Talk about that.
See, the union leader.
Yeah.
The union leader asks you 3 questions. One of them is what you think the number 1 issue is in Manchester, what's affecting the downtown and the city. And this is what I wrote. I haven't submitted it yet. We only have 100 words. Reform is necessary for changing Manchester from a political machine-based spoils system into a democracy. Good government laws enable the flourishing of the real people-based democracy I and other vets put our lives on the line for. Whistleblower clawback laws targeting waste and corruption are more effective than a tax cap in preserving taxpayer dollars as they put the brakes on graft. Manchester needs strong transparency and accountability statutes that are enforced. Then we can prevent the violence and gang activity plaguing our schools and address the obscenity of Queen City seniors living in fear, issues ignored by the career politicians. So I'm basically a reform candidate and an independent Democrat,
Yep.
not beholden with the party. We need whistleblower laws where somebody has the protection that they can come forward and pinpoint graft. Because you're always going to get retaliated against.
So what you're saying
But you
is
have to
you're
have
going to vote
protections.
your conscience, not by what someone else says.
Well, yeah. What's there for? You know, when you're a veteran, I'm a disabled veteran, I have to live that every day. You ask yourself, what was it for? The worst thing that you can, as a veteran, and there's other veterans dealing with it too, is to think that what you went through, and my sacrifice isn't as great as other people up at the Veterans Hospital. They've seen combat. I just listened into people dying. And I don't even want to think about that. But the worst thing you can say to yourself is it wasn't worth it. And when you come back to your hometown and you see, this code of omerta, the mafia. Nobody talks about anything. They don't talk about, for starting at the end of 2016 and going up for a year, the Federal Department of Education was investigating our schools for sexual violence. Not harassment, but violence, which could mean rape and that. People don't want to talk about anything. They just let things be as they are. And I don't know. Life has to be about
Continue.
something. Politics has
You
to
want to
be
hear
about
the 3
something.
questions? I want to hear the 3 questions.
Well, this is the one I didn't say on my own show. They ask you about, what about downtown? Is it healthy?
Let's hear it.
Healthy or good? What should you do? This one's going to be a little controversial, but you might like it. Norman, you can give me feedback.
Yeah.
The Queen City is imperiled by blowback from the taxpayer-supported rehab industry that's a magnet for afflicted individuals. Manchester is a dumping ground for other communities ridding themselves of their problems. City Hall must take a strong stand with the state. Feeder communities, many of which unfairly plunder the pot of federal drug enforcement money, must compensate Manchester for shouldering the lion's share of handling the state's substance abuse problem. The city should declare a moratorium on expanding the rehab industry until the financial inequities are addressed, and should aggressively pursue every avenue to stop the exploitation of Manchester, because Manchester is being exploited. When I got here, I predicted what was going to happen because I've seen it in New York where I lived, Boston, San Francisco. Drug rehab is an industry, and it's a big industry, and it puts a lot of people to work, puts a lot of people's relatives to work. And the son of a major developer who supported the last mayor said about a certain building that was rehabbed with our money, that's my first real estate development project. He's on record saying that.
Yeah. Now, I do not agree with the government supporting drug rehabilitation centers.
We paid for Granite Hammer, us taxpayers, because Chief Willard, he didn't have any access to money, so that was our taxpayers' money.
That one
using
that
our
Hope
federal,
over on
our
Valley
funds.
Street, I have a problem with that.
Nobody talks about these things.
The thing is, if
Right.
people want help, okay, it's there. you can send him to 100 rehabilitation centers.
Well, let's say I
and
didn't want it.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
But one of the problems I see is like you had the scandal of they were passing off people. A lot of the people are former substance abusers, and this is their rehab. And they were passing. They said they have 500 hours certification. They didn't have any, and they were just letting
Yep.
that through. Then there's investigation. They kind of close that one, and then they pass it on to the guy's other one, and then all of a sudden that one's all fine. But we have no accountability. There's no transparency to find out where the money goes, what it's doing, what's really going on. You know,
Yeah. Half the people that are doing during rehab counselors are not even qualified.
yeah. And then all of a sudden it just gets papered over up in Concord. Remember, we live in a state that's in the bottom 5, along with Mississippi and the Clintons, Arkansas, with no transparency, no accountability. And that was, who's the guy with the union leader that writes the City Hall column? He wrote that for a think tank back in, the last time they did it, like 2015 or 16. Paul Feely,
Yeah,
he wrote it.
right.
We live in a state with no accountability, no transparency. Ask me about campaign finance laws. There is no state campaign finance law. There are private letters issued to both parties that are private, and they can publicize them or not.
Don't you? You know, one of
It's
the things
just-
I always wonder, and I'm going to ask Ross this too. I believe that the chairman of the Republican committee for the state of New Hampshire and Ray Buckley are buddy.
I don't know, but I can just think of one thing, and this is just it's not even opinion and everything. Last election, we were told that a prominent for the board of, you figure Danny and Joe are always going to win, Joe Lavasser. So, going up against them is just, I just want, like, I'm running an informational
Well,
campaign.
isn't Ty running against Dan O'Neill?
Well, yeah, Joe and Will are just like they were going to in 2013 before everything.
Then they
was
became
going on.
enemies.
Right. That's its own intense story. But so for the board, the Democrats didn't even go out and get a candidate to run for alderman at large. But you figure, well, those two are going to win anyways. But then you had the board of the school committee. Rich Gerard won. He beat Kathy Staub, who had been on for a long time, and who seemed to be a very strong candidate. And the word was the Democrats put out, give the other Nancy Tessier a bullet, because, we don't have to worry about Kathy Staub. So she lost. So, then we have the rematch, and it's Rich Gerard. And we were
he's not
told
running again, right?
that no, he's not, a very prominent educator who is the husband of one of the top people in the New Hampshire Democratic Party, was going to run. I kept asking the then city Democrat, what's going on? You don't hear anything. Then suddenly, the last day, I'm sending messages, and a candidate, a school board member from the West Side wants to run against Gerard. She wants to run against him. But no, we need you to stay at the school board. So Gerard, it's 4:30. I'm on Matt Carnathan's show. You can go back and listen to the show.
I don't like that.
And we're finding out at 4:30. There's no candidate that's going to run. They're going to let him just be elected. That candidate, you can ask yourself, why didn't she just do it or anything? But you need to win anything. You need the backing of the Ray Buckley Party, formerly the New Hampshire Democratic Party, in my opinion.
Yes.
You need that backing. And we had no time to get somebody. I didn't have the money. I call up somebody on the phone, and it's on Matt's show, and say, is there somebody we can get down there? She said, no, he doesn't get off till 5. So they effectively, the Democratic Party elected Rich Gerard, he gets in there, effectively, in my opinion. Why didn't they get a field of candidates or anything? It's very strange.
One of the things that I've noticed is with the
They have the right to do whatever they
Oh,
want,
yeah,
by the
yeah,
way,
no,
under
yeah,
constitutional law.
But the
they have
sad
the right
part
to do
is,
anything.
I think the
what
people
do you mean?
in the Democrat and Republican parties, they
run the party for themselves.
There's not enough citizens, as what I'm going to say is, Ross, if you Okay. This is my opinion about why the people are continually getting re-elected, because they don't have the courage or the testicles to have someone or run themselves. I'm going to take you up on that offer, by the way.
And
But-
I'm happy you are. Here's my theory on it. So I don't know if that up to the upper level, but I definitely see this at low level races. People see, like Lou D'Alessandro, who you're going to be running against and hopefully beat. They know that name,
That-
and they just say, "Oh, I know that name." And I don't hate the guy. I don't know much about him, but I know the name.
Lou's
so I'm
very,
gonna,
come on, it's Lou D'Alessandro. Everybody knows who Lou is. Lou was around
But
when I
that's
was
what
a
I'm
kid.
saying.
that's what
That's
I'm
what I'm
saying.
saying
Yeah.
is, if
They
they know your
know who
name,
he
they
is.
vote for you.
And they
if
know
they
him.
don't know Moody, who's this guy?
Yeah, I never
And
heard of
and
him,
if,
yeah.
if they don't know your name,
Well,
they
yeah,
don't
we were
vote for
talking
you.
about that. That's political capital that you've
Yeah.
built after running and running and running. Because he was an executive counselor. He used to be a Republican.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
actually
yeah.
want to see you in the near future running for mayor.
I'll be
against
right
her.
there with you.
Thank you.
Why
What-
didn't you run this time? They
what
were
about
looking for
Jean-Claude?
looking for a strong candidate.
No, Ross, you have
John, I want
you
to
have
see
the
you run
right
for office, no matter how many times you have to go.
you have the right
How about
attitude
the U.S.
to be
Senate
it.
against Gene
Thank
Shaheen?
you. Here's my problem. So I'm a Republican, a moderate Republican. It's hard.
And well
it-
liked by the people
Thank
in the
you.
opposition.
in the
say
opposition,
that
but
you're
I get
fair.
a lot of grief from the Republican Party. Oh, you're too moderate. You're too, you're not conservative enough, and it's hard to when you're moderate. It's like
works across
you got to
the
be
aisle.
extreme, yeah. But if you're not extreme left or extreme right, a lot of people, especially in primaries, don't like it. They,
I know.
they want the fire breather.
I understand that.
They don't want that tofu guy like me that's wishy.
I don't
so I
care.
should,
I
I should
don't
be
care.
the number. Me and Joe Lavassa should be right at the top, right?
You know,
I want people. I
just-
want
yeah.
people
Burn
like
everything
you.
I invited what's his name from Ward 12, Keith Hirschman.
Keith?
Oh yeah.
I guess. How come you weren't invited? They're having
No primary.
a primary dinner for the mayor. I mean,
For
Victoria.
Victoria.
A primary what?
Oh, you invited Keith to be on today.
Yeah, to go down with you on a later
Oh,
date.
I wish
You
he
see.
came on. What did he
Well,
say?
he could, because he's having a big outing for the candidate, Mayor.
There was
Victoria.
one
For
yesterday.
Victoria Sullivan.
Yeah, but he's having another one. He told me today.
Oh, maybe it's just for Ward 12.
I
Could
guess.
be.
I don't know.
Keith's
no, I
got a
saw,
pretty
I saw
good-
Victoria yesterday.
Keith's pretty secure in that ward because the one
think
thing an
so?
alderman has to do is deliver services, and he does a very good job. They just
Constituent
tired.
services.
It's like Joel Elborough because Joel's expected him to run against him. He always before election day, he's got it's all the ducks. He has all his ducks in a
There
row.
is rumors,
But
and
that's
I'm
the
not
most
going to say how
important
true
thing.
it is or not, that Keith Hirschman, this is his last time running.
Really? Well, I heard he wanted to run for mayor also.
Yeah, I know, but also
Yeah, but he
because
couldn't
he
get-
wants
pulled
to.
it out.
He couldn't get back.
I think he's looking at the word retirement too.
Really? What about Hassan Essa? He almost won by how many cards?
You know what?
Shut them all.
By the way, Hassan Heston lost by 67 votes.
No,
That was
7.
close.
That's all he lost by.
No, and the
that?
the elections were always before that by like
Hassan
30
Essa, he
votes.
ran against Keith Hirschman for Alderman, almost won. It was
Yes.
very,
He
very
didn't
tiring.
almost win. You have to look at the history of the ward. The elections there were by 17 votes when Patrick Arnold beat Keith Hirschman. Then there was
Wow.
the guy that used to be on the school board that ran. That was 30 votes. They're always
Oh,
he
it's not-
actually
okay.
lost by twice of the margin,
Oh.
and he spent over $20,000.
Holy cow.
No,
Well,
no,
Ray
he
spent
didn't spend it.
$20,000.
Let me tell you what happened. It was Ray Buckley. Ray Buckley took the party's money and he spent $20,000 on that race to help him win, and he didn't win.
No, I
Right.
read all the stuff.
Okay.
He raised over $20,000.
What?
For what I can do, and then nobody ever spent when people ran.
one thing about when
was
you ran.
was not much
Okay.
money.
When
But
you ran,
that's enough
you're-
money for a citywide
You,
office.
you
that's-
actually
yeah,
ran
that's
at the last
insane.
minute.
Yeah. You said I was going to run, and I just.
That's like I talked to him and coming on at 3:00.
Well, Norm's going to run for state senate next year, and I'm very happy with that.
Take out 5 cards. Don't look at them.
Oh, cool.
You know why? No, because people weren't talking about issues.
I can't wait to see what you say.
You gotta be quiet.
Oh, that's I've seen that deck
Hey.
before.
These cards actually came from the Bahamas.
Right? They're nice. They're like plastic or
Yeah,
whatever.
my friend of mine.
That's
who
the
lives
last
there,
forever.
Do we get to see them?
She went and bought. Her and her husband went and bought 10 properties. They gave $100,000 for each one of them, and they sold them each for $2.2 million.
Wow, how did they do that?
They know how to make money.
Did they wait? What? Did they wait a while, like 10 years?
Yeah, oh,
before?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so they held them and
Yeah.
sold them.
They got 2 more to sell.
I'll wait to hear this.
I'm going to visualize both on your political career and your job where you are now. And I'm also, your daughter is so precious.
She's
Whenever
an
you come
angel.
on, I want you to bring her on. I want her to sing for
All
us.
right.
Okay.
Remind me, Norm. That
Yep.
I'll bring her on.
You, one thing I'm looking at you and your family, like you have a very supportive family that respects what you're doing. Your son may not always understand what you're doing, but he respects that you're doing it. Okay. Your daughter, you said she's in Dartmouth in medical.
She's pre-med, yeah.
Pre-med. Okay. She's going to be very, very successful. Okay. Is she specializing?
She wants to be a cancer doctor, oncologist.
Good for her.
Because
Wherever she goes, I actually see her going abroad to study even more.
her,
Yeah.
she
When-
talked about this. She talked about going to Europe. She wants
Yeah.
to be a not a Rhodes Scholar. What are the
Eisenhower
a
or
Fulbright?
Marshall.
Fulbright scholar.
Fulbright
Is that
is
Europe?
Marshall.
Yeah.
Not
Fulbright.
Rhodes, because
Yeah.
Rhodes is
Rhodes
English.
is
Fulbright.
right?
No, she's
Oxford.
going to be a Fulbright.
Huh?
Rhodes is Oxford. There's
No.
a Marshall scholarship, and then there's the Fulbright.
Fulbright is Europe, right?
You're right.
Yeah,
yeah.
Marshall, you go for the entire
And then
thing,
she's
get a
also going to be
degree.
going to Canada at the St. John's Hospital.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. She's a very intelligent woman.
Oh, she was valedictorian of her.
Yeah. If people look at her, forgive me for saying, they wouldn't think that she was, because she's a very pretty lady. And they think that ladies that have are beautiful have no brain. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, she's very
and
smart.
you know what she is? She loves the challenge.
She's a
And I
type A
don't-
personality.
I
yeah.
don't see her getting married for a long time.
Really? That's
I'm a bachelor.
Her career is more.
Sorry.
Her career
Jesus.
is more important to her than
Huh.
she. And you know, your daughter who has the Down syndrome
Yeah.
is her biggest supporter.
Of her
Spiritual.
of her
Going into
sister.
the big, yeah.
She does love her little sister. Yeah.
And that's what's encouraging her because she wants to make the planet better for the people that are sick. I also will tell you that she could also go into research and make a lot of discoveries to help people.
She's already doing research. So because she wants to go to medical school, they encourage her to do research. So she got a job with a doctor in Boston. So when she's not in school, like summer breaks,
Yeah.
she goes down to a hospital in Boston and does medical research.
You're also going back to
She
school.
loves it too.
Yeah.
For me, I think it would be boring, but she loves it.
Yeah. Well, you're going back to school.
Uh-oh.
You have a PhD now?
I have a associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, and a law degree. I don't have a PhD.
Well, you got to go get your master's
In,
in pharmaceutical.
okay.
Because law really is your forte right now. And it's good to have the knowledge of it
Yes.
and say, I did it. But because you're like I am in a lot of ways, if someone tells you you can't do it, you're going to prove that to them you can, okay? I also will tell you that one thing I'm also looking at with your daughter, she's going to, with your youngest daughter, the one, the Down syndrome daughter, right?
No, she's the oldest.
She's the oldest?
So
Okay.
my oldest daughter has Down syndrome. My middle daughter's a
Oh,
Dartmouth,
okay,
and then my
okay.
youngest is my son.
Yeah, okay.
Who's in high
Well, your
school.
daughter is going to win a lot of awards, your oldest daughter, because she's the fighter. The one thing I like about her is that she isn't afraid to take on a challenge. She has a lot of your ability, a lot of her mother's ability, because you two both encourage her. Okay. Does she still go riding horses?
Oh yeah, she's.
I'm going to get her to. I'm going to get that woman to come on again. This is your year for success, money wise. But and I also will say it's your year for the political world. Don't beat yourself up because I believe 98% you're going to win. Because there's always that 2%. They better not make me a liar. I don't like being made a liar, folks. I'll put a curse on you. There you go. And also, your wife is an extraordinarily beautiful, hearted woman.
She's a very smart woman. She's a good person.
And you say, when did she ever see in you, right?
No, we got along well.
What if I told you in your past life that you two were married to each other in your past life?
Really?
Yeah.
And
What you're doing, I'm sorry?
Do like when and where, or like.
Back in probably in the 1700s, okay? You were a little touchy with each other, you know what I mean? But you actually throughout this life now and whatever, and how to be loving. You're learning how to become more patient. And let's be
Yes,
honest, you
I
can be
need
very
that.
impatient.
Oh yeah.
You're a perfectionist.
Yes.
Okay. Your wife is too. But she's more laid back with it.
She's more like I didn't know if she's a. I don't know her to be a perfectionist. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not sure, but I.
When was the last time you two went away, just the two of you?
Good question. We went away 5 years ago. We went to Canada, just us. As far as like a dinner or something, like last month we went out to dinner.
I want you two to go away for a weekend.
Okay.
But you don't. I want you to learn how to get to know each other. You have your busy lives.
Yeah.
You're high. She's high. She does this. You do. And I don't mean marijuana high either, folks. You know, but you're always working.
Yeah.
She's both are workaholics, and I think it's imperative that you can go away like on a Friday night and come back on maybe a Sunday night or Monday morning, and I think you learn to know each other. You're taking to each other for granted. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, we don't usually, if we do go out, and we don't very rarely do we go out, it's with the kids.
Yeah. I made a commitment to you. Now I want you to make a commitment to
I'll
me.
do that.
I want you to, after the election, I want you two to go away. What do you like, the mountains and the ocean?
No, she's not really. She likes the beach. No, she's not an outdoors person. She likes hotels and nice restaurants. She definitely does not like camping.
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't picture. I can't picture you camping.
Oh, I love to camp.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like to
all
camp,
the
but
bugs coming.
she-
No,
Oh,
thank
you're
you.
right with me.
Yeah,
But
okay.
she hates it.
Yeah.
She hates camping.
I want
but,
you to, if she's listening, make sure you take your husband and push him by the you know what and get him out there to go. You two go away. Candlelight dinner, romantic fireplace. You like good champagne?
I like wine and
Yeah,
beer and hard liquor. Not too much.
No.
In
And some
moderation.
cherry chocolates, in the candlelight.
I like a
And
good
get
dinner.
to really know each other all over again. You'll be amazed at how you can renew your relationship because you're taking too much for granted.
Yeah, that's true.
Does that make sense to you?
Oh yeah.
And you're involved in the campaign.
You have a
most
lot.
of
Look,
the
at,
time.
she's got a lot of good news coming. Both of you. Ace
Oh,
of
diamonds.
Diamonds always represents good news. A lot of good changes, and it's coming very shortly. And I actually will tell you, your youngest daughter, she's got a lot of good future ahead of her. I'm not going to tell you it's going to be an overnight success. Okay, she is working. There's a lot of scholarships that she's going to be given.
Yeah, she's got a scholarship right now to Dartmouth. She, if to go to Dartmouth, because she lives there, it's $240,000, and that's why
year?
my wife
Or
for
the whole-
the 4 years. For the 4 years, it's $240,000. But she got so many scholarships that me and my wife, it brought it down to, I want to say, 60, 70,000. So they took almost $200,000 off the tuition.
Right.
And
She's
that's
got
why my
one
wife
more.
got a job to pay.
Yeah, she's got one more scholarship that's going to pay for everything
Wow.
because she's a very intense person.
If she can get one for medical school, that would be great.
Yeah, she's going to go to a medical school, and that's going to be paid for.
Excellent.
And I would not want to work under her. And neither would you,
Why is that?
because she's too much of a perfectionist.
She's very bossy too.
Well, I'm being polite. She's like her dad.
No, I'm not bossy. Like she's a Libra.
Yeah.
She
She knows what she wants.
She's very driven.
Okay, I actually see her doing a lot of work in the third world.
Huh.
Okay, because
Well,
she's going to
Brazil.
learn. The more she learns, the better it's going to be for her.
So my wife's from Brazil, and my daughter loves to. My daughters, and my wife too, love to go to Brazil.
And that's where she's working a lot. And she's going to work with the underprivileged people, like in these different countries. And I actually see your son going into politics.
Really?
Like his dear old dad.
He's a pretty smart boy.
He's smart. He
But
just
he's lazy with it.
he doesn't have the work ethic.
Start riding on his case.
Well,
I think I told you that
you
before.
did, but I'm still doing it.
Yeah, you got to back away. Let him be himself.
I just wish he would do his homework and study.
You know what? He'll learn before it's too late. What year is he in school?
He's going his senior. He's going to be a senior in high
In
school.
what school?
Memorial.
Okay. My granddaughter refused to go to her graduation at Central.
Wow.
Absolutely refused to go. All that violence and all that stuff. When you were on the Board of Education,
I mean, school board.
school
Yeah.
board, what was the biggest problem you had?
I would say school funding. It's always a struggle.
Why don't they want to help the kids?
It's just we're the poorest city in New Hampshire. We just don't have the tax base like Concord or Bedford
But I mean,
or Goffstown.
I can't see that the superintendent of school gets overpaid as far as I'm concerned.
Well, he's new. He just came on July 1st.
Yeah, but he's still overpaid. They don't last long.
3 years on average.
If they don't play politics with the school board members, let's be honest, they don't last.
Yeah, they have to. It's definitely very political.
One other thing I'm also looking at, I actually see you and your wife renewing your vows.
We've already renewed them once. I
Okay.
guess maybe again.
Yeah. How long you been married?
Good question. 95, so 24 years. And we renewed them, so we got married by a justice of the peace. And then, but our family is very Catholic. So 2 years later, we got married in a Catholic church.
When you make it 30 years, you got to be redoing them again.
Uh-uh.
Okay. And you have both of you have a huge family, huh?
Yeah, we both come from, we're both, so my mother was Protestant, my dad was French and Irish Catholic. Her family's Catholic. They have 7 kids. We had 6 kids, so it's 13
And I've actually
kids.
seen, one thing I do see you selling your house.
Hmm.
And I see you moving to a bigger house. Instead of downsizing,
Yeah.
you're going to upsize. Because you're going to have a lot of grandkids. I hope you like kids.
I love kids. Yeah, we both love kids because we come from big families.
Yeah, I think they should be put on a roof overnight and then taught discipline. You know, actually, this is the children I blame. I blame the parents when they allow. So you're an old-fashioned school parent. You're not afraid to spank us if you need to.
Yeah, my parents were like that too. They
But,
were, they cared about us, but they're also strict.
But did it hurt you when you got spanked?
No, I think
It wasn't respectful, wasn't it? You know?
It wasn't out of control.
No.
It wasn't. There was it wasn't like, oh, you didn't. It wasn't for no reason at all. It was they had specific reasons.
Yeah. My dad, unfortunately, when anybody told him I did something wrong, I got a beating whether I did it or not, and that's okay. But you know, I survived out of it and made me who I am today. You need to get your eyes checked. And see a lot of blurred vision. With
Yeah, my eyes are. It's yep,
Pride goes before the fall. You know what speed limits are, right?
yeah.
You know you're supposed to obey them, right?
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't that be embarrassing? A local school board member gets caught for but speeding, and you know the Democrats will put that all over. You know?
I will.
You know? I think it's finally that's actually when I'm happy with, like when Trump and Sununu both, these cops aren't getting away with DWIs anymore and the chief of police and all that. And look what Trump is doing. He's clamping down on the illegals, and I think that your wife had to work hard to get here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And she's proud of being an American. Okay.
Oh yeah.
See, it's all up, and she wasn't handing all the
So
free stuff that they want to get into.
Oh no, she had a lot of lousy jobs, cleaning, working in a restaurant. Unfortunately, she's a Democrat, like Jean.
No, that's okay.
is she an
Oh, okay.
independent Reform Democrat? Or is she with the
Actually,
Buckley
what's
Party?
funny? She's very conservative. My wife's extremely conservative
A lot of Democrats are moderates.
because she's Catholic, but she is a Democrat.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and you know what, and that's okay. You know, I make a lot of enemies because as you
You
know,
were a Democrat once.
at one time, yeah. But then I saw the real truth. You know that song, Hallelujah, I saw the light. You know?
I saw.
I like
that's,
that.
That's Hank Williams.
Yeah, Hank
I
Williams
saw
Sr..
the light.
Yeah.
I was listening to that not too long ago.
I love
It's a
the
good
old
song.
country and western
I
music.
love Hank
Honky
Williams.
Tonkin', I love that song.
Honky.
I am concerned. I want you to get your heart checked.
All right. Yeah, a lot of heart disease in my family.
Right, I see it going boom, 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 boom.
Uh-oh.
Because you don't release your stress.
I don't. I keep it in.
Oh.
You ought to yell at people.
Hello, welcome to Norm Community Corner.
Hello? Is John Hopwood there?
John Hopwood, this is for you.
Oh my God! I turn off my phone and I get harassed.
Yeah, he's right here.
How are you, John, darling? This is Franny. How are you?
Hi, how are you? How's your husband doing?
He's wonderful. Is this Norm the Psychic Show?
Yes, it is.
Norm, tell me, my daughter's in a beauty pageant. Is she gonna win?
I'm not going to comment on that.
All right, well, thanks. I thought I'd call and say
She
hi. all the way
she will
from
come. She's
Queens.
on. She'll
Hi,
come in.
everybody.
Yeah, she's going to come in as like a runner-up, but not as a queen.
I think she hung up.
Okay.
I don't know who that was. When it used to be on Amsterdam, people used to call in all the time with phony voices.
I don't believe in the beauty pageants, especially for young kids.
Yeah, not good.
Wow, I once
Aren't
said
we
to the
all
Robert.
beautiful in one way? Even John, we got to figure it out. Yeah, even he.
I once entered a Robert Redford look-alike contest.
What was
This
the
is you,
Okay.
okay? This
I
is
did
telling you
do
that
well.
you have a lot of, you've been through a lot of hurdles, a lot of nightmares, a lot of crying inside because I don't want you to ever look like you're a failure, because you're not. Okay, I want you to say, you know what, I can do it all, and you can. Okay, and this is where you are going to be coming a lot closer. Even though you and your wife are on different political sides, you still love each other, and I want you to put all that political aside and start learning how to appreciate each other. Because if you don't, there's going to be a lot of tension. Okay. Financially, I don't see any major struggles. Okay. Your wife is an engineer now?
My wife's an engineer, yeah, civil.
She enjoys it, doesn't she?
I think she likes being a civil engineer, but the part that she finds hard is she's outside all the time because she does she has to watch the construction workers.
Yeah.
The heat, sometimes it's like really cold or it's raining, it's really hot. She has a hard time with that.
Yeah.
Is there any danger?
But you know what?
Yeah, one time she was working in a ditch and the ditch collapsed and she just got out in time before it squished her.
She's gained a lot of respect from her fellow workers.
She does. Her boss and even the other companies have said that she's really. My wife's very tough. Like
she's a no nonsense.
She doesn't take. She doesn't suffer fools gladly. I guess you would say.
She don't take any nonsense from you.
No, she stands her ground. She's got a strong back.
And that's what is great with you two, because you both have that, you both have that strong working together attitude. Okay, and if you just never, when you disagree, you never go to bed angry at each other. At least I hope not.
I don't.
Does that mean you sleep on the couch? Or in a car, like I used to?
I have a quick temper, so it goes away like a.
But she molds it.
No, she holds it for forever. Yeah, she'll hold on.
Like
it drives me crazy.
You got to start writing down your own emotional feelings, okay? Otherwise, you're going to get bottled. You're a great dad. She's a great mom. You have beautiful children. But you're also no nonsense, all right? When you tell the children that you don't want them to do something, your son is going to become very successful.
Well, that's good.
Don't worry about his
He doesn't
homework.
listen to me.
How old is he?
7. He's going to be 18 in October.
My son was 17 and 18, and he didn't listen to me either.
No. I mean, he's a good kid. Don't get me wrong.
No.
He's a good.
One thing
kid.
I do know, he's going to be a leader, and he's going to be a good leader, not the drug and alcohol stuff either. Okay, he's going to have a lot of lady friends.
He's got one right now.
Okay.
Very serious, which I'm happy about. He's been with her for a year, and they're very good. They get
Well,
along
when they
very
go to
well.
college, they're all going to go their own ways.
Yeah,
Okay.
another year.
You're going to have one thing I like about you is you have a nephew. You have nephews, obviously.
Oh, I have lots of nephews. Yeah.
You got one nephew that's going to be coming to you, and because you will be open-minded enough to listen to him and tell you that he's, and it's the same gender, that he's in like the people with this, and you're not going to condemn him. You're going to encourage him to be himself. He's going to be someone that you've had suspected before. Okay. Because you're basically very honest. You support whatever people want to do. I'm probably the most anti-gay person going.
You are.
Yeah. I don't believe in look at me, I'm so gay, I'm a Queen Mary, I got to wear my tutu walking down the street. You don't have to do that. And we don't, and if you want to be committed to each other, do it spiritually without the wedding bells and all that. And I'm not sure I am really positive about adopting children either. And I think, what happens to the children? Who's mama, who's daddy, stuff. I know what my son went through with me being gay, And be who you are. You don't have, it's like being a born again Christian. If you want to be that, be who you are. You don't have to push it on somebody else. Sweetheart, I could be the biggest queen going, or I could be a very straight person, whichever I want to be. And I think the one thing that I like about you two, and you're for equal rights. Okay, like the people that lived when they moved to Ohio and then came from Nepal. One of the boys that we paid $64,000 for Colgate for him to go to college.
Wow.
And now he's not even using it. That's what I get upset about.
Yeah.
Like, I think the biggest joke in all the world is that, what's it called, Job Corps?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that went there, they never followed through with it. And they get paid for going to school. Did you get paid for going to college?
No, I had to pay for it.
Yeah. Did you get paid for going to high school?
No.
No. Did you get paid for going to college?
I wouldn't have been able to go to college without financial aid.
Yeah, but did you get paid for going
You had to pay
a
it back,
weekly
yeah.
salary?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
The
that's
Army
what I'm
paid
saying.
it back. Yeah.
Did you pay to go to school?
Nope.
Okay. See, I
I
didn't
wished
get
I
paid,
had that.
You know, and but see, that's the thing. You know, if they follow through, if they're gonna go get a high school diploma and they're gonna follow through with a career, I don't have a problem with it. But I know so many people that have gone through, and the hell, they go right back and doing whatever they want to do, and that's like I don't believe in the government supporting drug rehab programs. I'm an alcoholic. You know, I made that choice. I also made that choice to get sober. I don't want my tax dollar paid for somebody who's a drug addict and doesn't want to help.
I would agree to the point where I would want my tax dollars used for that accountability and transparency, but I just don't see it.
No.
And we have the blowback where we've become the drug magnet, where you had the hub and spoke system, and that was supposed to like take some of the relief off of Manchester. And then Nashua has 8 cases, and we have 150. You know,
What would you do?
Here.
Yeah.
It's all
Send
coming
everything to Manchester.
If you were elected,
It's like
that's
New York City.
I'm leading you into a question
Sure.
on that. Yeah.
So I would treat
No
homeless.
tapping.
Sorry. I would treat homelessness like a public health issue. I don't give so much money, to the individual type resources. For instance, Glenn Willett has a good thing. So I don't know if you've seen this, but in California, there's so many homeless people.
Yeah.
They're defecating on
That's
the
a big
sidewalk.
problem.
There's a hepatitis A outbreak. People are dying from hepatitis because they're pooping on the sidewalk. People are getting it on their shoes. They're getting it on them. They're transmitting the hepatitis, and people are actually dying. So we need. Glenn is right when he says we need more public porta potties, whatever,
Yeah.
because it looks gross. Who wants to walk around a town that's full of crap? You know what I mean? One, it doesn't look good, but two, it leads to disease. So that's important. But the other thing is, and I'm going to actually talk about this on the Joe Kelly, I don't support the Safe Stations program. So
I don't either.
I'm a hospital pharmacist. Here's the
I
problem.
think you're probably right. Now, the more I look
Here's
at
what's
it.
happening with Safe
I
Stations.
know what you're gonna say.
It's costing us about 2.3 or 2.5 million dollars a year. That money could go to the fire department, could go to the police department, could go to our schools. That's a lot of money. What I'm seeing as a hospital pharmacist, I'm seeing people. Let's take care of our own people. We have people from all over New Hampshire coming to Manchester because of heroin addiction to use Safe Station. Those towns and cities should be reimbursing us. They're not.
Exactly.
We have people
exactly.
not only from all over New Hampshire, we have people from Maine coming, we have people from Massachusetts. I know it for a fact. I've had people from, I've seen this from Maine.
Ted used to, a lot of it was politics, and Ted was saying, "Oh, we got somebody from California," which wasn't true. And he's
We might
touting
have.
that.
Well, I know
We
we
sure
have
did.
people
wasn't,
from
'cause
other,
I looked
but
into
we know
it.
we have people from
But
other states, and so we are having
Joe always was talking about
Maine is one of the
We have
biggest ones
people
coming
from-
in.
people from
all
Maine,
over.
all over. When you go to try to help people, they're from over. They are sent here. You're right.
So what's happening, and I think some of the times
There's
the
a
cities and
solution.
towns are saying, here's a bus ticket, here's an Uber, we'll pay for it.
They
You
do.
go to
They
Manchester.
send them here.
There was one in the Manchester, England, Carol Robidoux. She did a man was dying of cancer. I feel bad for him. He was an alcoholic. He had cancer. His town said, we can't help you. They paid for him a taxi from central New Hampshire to come to Manchester. They said, go live in a homeless shelter and use their hospital and go see their city welfare.
That's
We're
wrong.
being dumped on. But
Right.
anyway, so I don't support Safe Stations.
Russ, I just
Um,
want to say quickly, there could be a solution we could talk about because you're the law. Remember the old poor law that they cut back
Oh, yeah.
several years ago, where you're born and come from, you're responsible for it. That might be something to look in reviving. But 'Cause you're a
I mean, I
lawyer.
know it sounds
Talk about it.
heartless, but I don't support Safe Stations. And here's the other reason. I'm seeing the same people come in again and again. I'm seing,
That's right.
people with
Two
heroin addiction.
overdoses.
And I had a man come in
Same way.
for alcoholism. We let him dry out. We gave him a prescription for Librium for his withdrawal. Comes back the next day, he's drunk again. It's Safe Stations. It was
It's
a
a
waste
cycle,
of money.
yeah.
But the
Yep.
same thing with heroin addiction. We're seeing the same. We're not treating people. We're enabling. They run out
It's
of
an
money. They
industry.
feel horrible, and they don't want to go through withdrawal, so they'll see us. But once I don't know where their money's coming from, a disability check or whatever it is. But once they get money again, they take off. And here's the other thing that drives me crazy. One of the things with heroin addiction, when they shoot up a dirty needle, because it's not like they're a nurse and they know how
Right.
to sterilize it, they're just shooting up dirty, heroin into their veins. They get an infection, bacterial infection called endocarditis. And what this does is a bacterial infection goes to your heart and attacks your heart valves. and it damages your heart valves, and it grows. So when they do the X-ray, they call it growth. It looks like there's mold growing on their heart valve. It takes us 6 weeks of antibiotics to treat that successfully, if we're lucky.
Which you have to be careful of what you take. You can't drink.
6 weeks. So you got to be in the hospital for 6 weeks to get antibiotics. Now that costs us. I'm guessing it's several $1,000s a day to be in the hospital. So 42 days. You're talking what, $100,000?
Yep.
To treat that, if we can treat it with sometimes we can't. We have to do open heart surgery. We have to cut out their heart valves and put fake heart valves in if we can't treat it. But here's the thing that drives me crazy. What a lot of these people are doing is they feel endocarditis makes you feel sick. It makes you feel horrible because you have a heart infection. So they feel horrible. A lot of times they're withdrawing. So we bring them in the hospital. We treat their withdrawal. We're giving them, we're giving them things to stop the withdrawal, to make them feel better. We're also giving them antibiotics to treat their heart infection. Now, they're supposed to be there for 6 weeks. What's happening, we can't keep them there. After a week or two, they feel better. They get money from some source, and they're like, see, it's called AMA, Against Medical Advice. They leave.
Yeah. Right.
So we've just wasted all that time and money, thousands of dollars, and then they go up and they shoot out again. And then in a week or two, you see them again. It's like flushing money down the toilet.
That's like when I used to go to AA, okay? And they would be court ordered to go to AA. Maybe 1 out of 10 of them would listen. And I was going to be instructed. I did go to a day program to the mental health to get sober. I spent 3 months on the outfit. Let me tell you, it was one of the best programs that I ever went through. Because number one, they didn't take any bullcrap from me. And I haven't had a drink in 23 years, But, and then if people I was going to go into either the Farnham Center or the one that was on the Manchester Street, wasn't that? The sobriety house or whatever. And they had you had to stay sober for a month if they had room to get in there. And if you didn't have insurance, forget it. You're not going to get in.
But here's the other problem that I'm seeing in the hospital. We have all these people who safe stations, alcoholism, drug addiction. They're clogging up the ED. So when you have somebody who has a real problem, they're waiting 3, 4, 5 hours. They're getting frustrated. Right. They have real medical problems that need to be seen, and we're all clogged up because we have so many, homeless people, heroin addicts, alcoholics. It's ridiculous. So
one of the the thing I don't like, and I don't agree with Joyce Craig, honestly, but all the crimes that are happening, you can't really blame her.
No, this culture got rooted well back.
You can't blame. Here's my concern, and I see this on social media. Yeah. You can't blame Joyce for the crime and the heroin addiction, but here's the problem. When she was running for mayor against Ted, she blamed her campaign blamed Ted for all the problems.
Right.
And if you remember, her campaign was
no.
But I'm not touching that. Fixing homelessness, dealing with the heroin addiction, dealing with all these problems, and she hasn't.
No. What do you mean she hasn't? You mean you can't take a walk?
Homelessness is worse.
You can't take a walk.
Heroin deaths have gone up. Murder has gone up. Methamphetamine deaths have gone up. Calls to the police have gone up.
What did we just talk about, though? This whole thing, this Manchester.
But if Joyce would admit that she cannot control what's going on.
She was going to fix it.
But what you say about education? She ran on that one, saying she was going to fix education big time.
Well, unfortunately.
What do you expect to do? Everything overnight?
No.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
We just talked about a situation where Manchester's becoming the dumping ground. This is happening when this would happen. And I remember when Ted Getz was saying his farewell speech, drugs were always the big thing. Here's a guy that, even after the spice epidemic, didn't say one thing in the 2015 State of the City address.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything. And all of a sudden, that became an issue when he was going to run for governor. And that's when everybody starts talking about all this stuff.
But here's the thing, too. I want to go back to homelessness.
You can't say within a year, 18 months. This was a situation.
Leave them alone. Let them, when they were out of sight, everybody was happy when they were wherever they were living. Joyce, for some reason... No. Joyce sent... Who did she send over? The Public Works or whatever. Wiped out their camp. Now they don't have anywhere to live, and now they come downtown.
They didn't do that under Ted Gatz. It's like when they had the ones on the west side.
I don't know, but
Ted Gatz would not accept the homeless people. That I will say.
They
but what Joyce did.
There was
and
homeless-
one woman.
I don't know if they bulldozed it or
on the
whatever.
one phone call, and she was on the show and she admitted it. On the one phone call, she said something had to be done about the homeless down by the railroad tracks. And then come to find out, the city didn't even own that property.
They had to
They
negotiate.
destroyed all these people's belongings,
And their tents.
and they had
So
no
suddenly-
other place to go.
That's too partisan a interpretation of that. You know, that's not quite what happened.
If she said, I don't have, if she didn't run on that, then that would have been fine.
Number
but
one.
she said she was going to fix it.
Yeah.
Number one, there's a board of mayor and aldermen.
Yes.
Right? You've got aldermen too that have to get involved
She's
in
the
all
chief
this
executive.
stuff. Well, we've had the thing, the
You
board
know
of
what,
mayor and
John?
aldermen.
All these Democrats that are on the alderman board are all backing up whatever she does.
No mayor.
The Democrats
No,
Let's put him on the spot. If
No
you get elected
mayor.
at large, are you going to be a rubber stamp to Joyce? Or are you going to be an
Oh,
independent
yeah,
voice?
sure.
You're gonna be a rubber
You
stamp?
know who I am.
You're a
No,
loose
I no.
cannon.
Answer. Are you going to be an independent person when you're
Of course
on
I
mine?
am.
All right.
Okay.
You know, I wasn't invited to the West Side coordinating thing. But here's the thing, and this is truth. No mayor ever entered office and being stymied by the board so much. When she tried to put somebody on the zoning board, she was completely stymied by that. They'd already prepared in December getting Jim Roy up there.
But he had
And-
been on the zoning board, right? And the
no,
other guy
he
wasn't?
was on the board starting in December. It was a lame duck that Ted Gatz has put on. And then they came up with this, Billy Shea and Hirschman, with this completely false argument, supra-constitutional or extra legal. Oh, anybody that's the alternate, then they become it. That's not true at all. But, not one person voted for her that night. Not one person. Nobody faced the stuff that she had to go
Even
through.
her allies. Bill
Nothing.
Barry, Danny O'Neill, Gamache. Those are people that are her natural allies. If
I'm
they don't
talking about,
support her, that's a problem.
and I'm saying about the board of aldermen. There's all sorts of forces that go on, as you well know, as a member of the school board.
The sad part is,
But she did establish herself, and I have a lot of criticisms of her, but I support her and I'll vote for
You have
her.
a
But
crush on
she is taught. No, that's somebody else, and shut your mouth. Now,
What?
or you'll get a black eye.
I heard
He
that.
threatened me.
911,
State
please.
senator, will you outlaw that kind
Yes,
of
I
behavior?
will.
Oh,
Thank you.
now you're
Yes,
being
I
You
will.
have
real
my
low.
vote.
Yeah.
Are you
First
going to
of
go
all,
for state senator?
You
Probably.
gotta
I'll be at the
remember that
garbage can.
No political person, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, are going to go against their party.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is true.
We don't
You know
really
him.
have a
You
we
wanna know
don't
what
have
kind
the
of a
party.
backstabber he is? I thought he was my friend and he was going to
Yeah,
help
you
me.
did what he just said.
So I ran for state senate. I show up at the Litchfield dump to hold my. Guess who I see there? Him. Oh, great! He's going to hold. No, he's holding Donna Soucy's sign. That's
Okay.
he's a backstabber.
I'm a
He's
Democrat.
He's a backstabber.
That was wrong.
No, it's
That's-
not.
that's the kind of
I
person he
supported
is.
Donna Soucy.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, why?
What has she done that
Yeah, what has
sells
she done
people?
for you? How many beers have I bought you?
You're bribing me just to get on the show.
That's all right.
Yeah.
But let me
And
ask
I'm blaming
not
you for
what
how
has-
bad I
Okay.
am.
I'm being real.
What has Donna Soucy done
for you,
to
lately.
help Manchester?
She is not. She's done.
Name it.
I think I'm sorry to say, but I think she'd be She was better as a state senator than you. She
What
certainly had
has
more
she?
experience.
Don't avoid my question, John.
Answer it.
Yeah.
What has
Answer.
she?
Handle the truth.
Well, he's pretty bossy, isn't he?
Because I want him to answer
What-
it.
what
She's
is-
actually people like her and Lou D'Alessandro
Say it,
and Kevin
say it.
Kavanaugh actually have the interests of the city of Manchester and the people in
Who are you
mind.
kidding?
They make sure they try to get
Who
money
brainwashed
down
you?
here. No, I'm telling the
No.
truth. They're not like Victoria Sullivan when she was a state rep up there voting with the Tea Partiers, which you almost said tea, something else, and
Victoria
cutting money
votes her
off
conscience.
from this city.
Victoria
This
votes her
city
conscience.
She
needs
is a,
money.
She's a
okay.
strong
Donna
woman.
Soucy.
You
is a-
very strong
you
women.
don't vote against the
You want
interest
rubber
of
stamps.
Manchester.
You
Hey.
can handle the truth.
Let me ask you something.
Hey,
you
he
mu-
can't.
Go-
You
go
got a
sell-
guy
hey.
over here.
No,
that
this
can't-
is the truth.
Go sell crazy somewhere else. We're fully
gotta
stocked
get-
up
hey.
here.
You're here, with the talking points from the campaign.
You got a guy over here
She's
that can't
against
stand
Second
Lou
Amendment
Sullivan.
rights.
He can't stand Lou.
Oh, I don't mind Lou.
First
But
off-
No,
I'm
because
gonna
Lou's
take him down.
he's been there too long, and he's a rubber
But
stamp.
he also, the
I
only thing
lived
I'm
in-
disappointed is that they did not pass that gambling law.
I am too. I support. I
I
wanted to go. I
supported
wanted to go
that,
to
I
a casino
wanted
up in North Country and be able to gamble.
Yeah,
on
we
that.
should have had that years ago. The,
Now
uh,
look what they're doing. They're building
Mass, they have a beautiful-
the
everybody's going
Indian,
down to
But
first
these
Indian casino in
Democrats
Connecticut,
are
five-
supporting gun laws, gun control. Let me tell you,
I
get
re-
me, I win, you're going to hear the biggest mouth on there. For my son teaches
What do you
people how to
mean?
use.
There's no absolute right to guns.
Yes, there is.
And the
No,
Second
there
Amendment
isn't.
says we
Hey,
have a
look.
right to it.
You
No,
want to
it
hear
doesn't.
it? Gun is not the problem.
I was an NRA.
Sometimes the person
I was an
shoot-
NRA member
using
in
it's not the
junior
problem.
NRA until I
It's a
was
mental
40.
health issue sometimes. That's what's causing
No,
it.
Is there a
it's just
si-
the people being callous.
You know what
I know, but-
you and I and actually Senator Lou agree on is we all support casino gambling.
Yes.
I really very much.
That's the one thing I
also
agree
just-
on.
That should have been a long time
That would
ago.
have helped revenue
I
for the
actually
state.
think like they do in Nevada. If you're going to legalize here,
Have
let's legalize
prostitution, too. I agree.
Make it safe.
That's a bridge too far, I think.
Why is it a
That's-
bridge too
that-
far?
I don't know. Look, no, Utah, Nevada.
It
Nevada's the only state with it.
it lowers sexually transmitted diseases, and it's much safer for the sex industry
You
workers.
just want it because you want to spend your money.
I don't have
We
any
don't-
money.
Hey, if
He
you
wants
maybe-
to.
maybe
he's gonna
instead of
go in and
buying
say,
me a beer-
I'm the new alderman. I want free sex
Yeah.
in your
no,
house.
no. Hey, this one. Hey, Ross, if you get
I'm a
on the
little too
board,
old.
Yes, sir.
are you gonna make sure we get the money that we deserve from the state that they're not dealing with right now? That they're not.
I
No,
will,
he's gonna let
I will try, but here's the thing: we have to work with our state officials because that's like our senators and our state reps are where they're the guys that get the money for us.
Oh, I
and
got
send
a
it to the
hat
city.
coming to America.
Would Donald Trump just sit by and let this happen? He'd go get the money.
Would
from
would
Manchester.
Jean-Claude Van Damme Hopwood do that?
Yeah, I'll go up there and get the
Hold
money.
on, put your MAGA hat on.
My disabled American veteran, and I support the
That
Second
what
Amendment
Trump has
myself.
done for the veterans is incredible. He has not. He has done more for the veterans than
Hey,
anybody
And I'll
else.
say something. It's a shameful that the Democrats have just they've ignored veterans and they're ignoring senior citizens.
they're ignoring you.
Hey, and look what
They're
else.
ignoring senior citizens, and you all of a sudden, it's like these new classes of privileged people. Well,
What the?
Take the city.
that they're creating in whole cloth. What about seniors? Seniors are living in fear in this city.
Yes,
Yeah, you
seniors
know
are
what?
feeling of
Because they're
fear
going to
and
be taxed out of their
retaliation.
houses and forced out into the
Yes,
street.
and Ross.
You know what?
That's
Some of that
what
is
you're
from
saying.
they're not applying for the federal money that they should be applying for. If they applied for the federal grants, they would have money that they could be
Well, they're
using.
doing
I'm
that
not even
now.
in favor of federal grants. It's tax
No,
dollars.
but I'm saying there's federal money that
it's
they
our-
would
we
give
get-
you if you
we
applied.
only get
You could get it.
70 cents
That's what I'm
of
saying.
every
This is
dollar
where
somehow.
this is where the city's going wrong.
Arizona gets 3.5.
I'm
But
not
you
in
know,
favor.
you know why
People
Trump, why
think-
people like Trump? Because working people
Yeah.
and I'm not a Trump supporter, but I was at the
Well,
rally.
yeah.
He's not Hitler. He's
I'm
I would
making
say
a
he's more
hat.
like that same
No,
guy.
you know who he's
It's
more
the
like?
disabled veteran hat.
Who's the guy
the
about
reason
Louisiana?
why people respond to him is because he talks to them like working people that do live legitimate fear of losing their jobs and have anxieties.
How many
where the
creations of
Democrats
jobs
are
in there?
ignoring
Yeah.
them.
One
Except,
of the things-
ironically, Bernie's one of the few people. Bernie Sanders is the only person in the Democrats that even talks about the veterans.
He
and
He
cares
scares me.
about
You're
them.
speaking to Elizabeth
But I'm just
right
saying
now, right?
that. I'm just saying that.
You know, I'm going to get a hat and it's going to say, "Keep Manchester free."
Free of
You
what?
should get, you know,
Corruption.
You're
Free,
right.
free of bad
No
karma.
one's right. Get one.
for your at
If I have to
large
pay
race,
for it, I will.
He should get it for his at large race. Make Manchester great again.
No, I'm getting a hat.
See, that's
Vote
what I
from the
wanna
bo-
do.
I'm getting a hat, and we're both going to pitch in. Vote from the bottom of the ballot up. Because we're both in the ballot. We're both flat.
That's it. Wait, it
Look
does
on
some-
up
I'm
the
gonna get
bottom.
Ladies and
This is
gentlemen,
almost
once again, before we run out of time,
Okay, sorry.
We're not going
Okay.
to be able to go to the
What? Oh,
dump
run out of
this
time.
time.
before we got 15 more minutes.
All right.
But Ross, I want you to tell them who you are and what you're running for and what we can do to support you.
All right, Ross Terrio. I live in Ward 7 on South Cypress Street. I've state rep for a term. I've been 3 terms as a school board member. I've worked hard. I'm out. My cell phone number is 820-9064. Again, 820-9064. If you have any questions, feel free to call me. I'll answer any questions to help make up your mind to see if you want to vote for me or not. My email is rwterrio, rwterrio@comcast.net if you want to email me your questions. And I have great respect for our current alderman, Mr. William Shea. He's retiring this year. I wouldn't have ran against him. But Mr. Shea is retiring from the Board of Mayor and Alderman. He's going to run. He told me that he's going to run for school board. I wish him well. I support him. And I hope to be the next alderman for Ward 7. I'm not taking anything for granted. I'm working hard. I'm knocking on doors. I'm talking to people and answering their questions. And to me, the thing about being an alderman, people say to me, "Oh, it's about they'll ask me about immigration or abortion or foreign wars." there's really two main jobs for the alderman. The one is constituent services. Hey, get my street paved, get this pothole fixed. I want a stop sign. They're not picking up my trash for some reason. It's constituent services helping people. So that's one of the main jobs that I've been doing is on a school board, constituent service. The other thing is setting a budget. So what the Board of Mayor and Aldermen do, they vote on a budget and it directly affects your real estate taxes. I support the tax cap. It only should be overridden in emergencies. And what do I mean emergencies? A flood, a gigantic fire, an earthquake, a tornado or hurricane that destroys a city. That's an emergency, or something of that. Just overriding it every year for regular expenses, daily is not right. We've done it, 4 times, I think? Yeah. So, and again, I support the tax cap, only support overriding it for emergencies, not every year. It shouldn't be a daily occurrence. The city of Manchester needs to learn to live within its means. It's been living beyond its means for several years now. It's going to lead to disaster. It's going to lead to the middle class leaving the city, and I think it's going to lead to layoffs and budget deficits.
And they're already showing down in the mill what they laid off 30, 35.
Was it Dine or what was that?
Yeah, Dine.
Yeah, but that's Oracle, which is in Redwood City, California, or Belmont, California. I used to work right next to them.
But that's
something.
But that's just the beginning of the layoffs that are going to be down at the mill yard. I'm going to predict by second.
But they had BAEs coming.
Manchester is going to be losing a lot of mill yard industry. Okay, the DEA is going to help sacrifices, but they've got to find jobs for the working class people. Okay, working class people, in all honesty, do not fit in with the people that are running for politics. You're lucky you have a good job, but someone like John or I will never fit in. Will never be. I will not conform to the Republican Party. I will be my own person. Same with John. You know?
Well, we're bohemians.
Yeah, that's right. And the one thing we gotta find a solution to working to improve Manchester. We're not just the homeless, education. Like you just said, people that we've been lucky on our side. We do have the people to pick up the trash. So we're lucky that way. Often to encourage more working class jobs. BEA is coming in. Is that how they? And
BAE?
BAE is going into the old home insurance.
Yeah, down
right
off
in
of
South.
Brown.
Right off Brown.
And they're going to offer what, 1,500 up to 5,000 new.
Oh,
jobs.
those are going to be
800.
excellent jobs.
I think it's 800 jobs.
Yeah. Okay. Then, I can remember when Rockwell used to be where Market Basket is
Oh, I
now.
didn't know that.
Oh yeah,
my son
that was
worked-
a very good job.
My son worked there and he made very good money.
Yeah.
And this I blame Ted Gassett for. Okay? Because Rockwell said, you find us another location and we will stay here, part of the company. And he for some reason, decided not to do that.
Yeah.
So they went to Mexico and Idaho.
And a business like that pays a higher level of taxes. When we lose Sylvania, and then they rezone it for yet another strip mall, you lose a tax base. We don't need.
I don't
another strip
understand
mall there.
that these abatement, that these tax cut that these businesses get. What
There's
are
all
they?
sorts of wheeling and dealing.
Well,
So they don't pay
I think-
taxes?
Well, to attract, because they want people to come in, they gave them, I believe they did it with BAE, didn't they give them
Yeah,
a nice tax?
yeah.
Right?
I'm not sure.
All of them.
Yes.
And what kills is when these Catholic charities, they sell these nursing homes, but they keep it under Catholic charity so they don't have to pay
taxes. Well, we've lost light industrial. We lost up in Ward 12. There's the battle over there. That was supposed to be developed light industrial. And then they want to turn it over to developers for more townhouses. Then they say stuff. You're talking. These are, and at the South End. Well, the people that are going to come here are from Boston. They're young professionals. They're not going to have any kids. Right.
Yeah.
Northwest.
I am very upset with Hackett Hill and the industry going up there.
Right.
That's our last.
Yeah, but
our
that's
last
taxes.
spot.
That's
They
a
turn
real
it into
tax
condos,
base. It never
we won't have any more space to put any more
We should do
businesses.
something about
Well,
that.
I'm not worried about that.
Yes,
I'm
I'm
not
just telling
worried.
you.
I'm worried about the wild animals.
We should do
You know,
something about the
we got to
island.
find places.
Well, hey, don't talk about my friend John like that.
Oh, I'm sorry, John. Yeah. Well, I have a leash out there we can bring it in on. Okay. But what people are complaining about the wild animals coming into the city.
Oh, that's-
Keep on effing building.
I've had a bear.
You know,
Yeah.
like that. You know, like that one on Mammoth Road that people that stuck
Oh,
up.
yeah, that
with
was
that.
it. Yeah, that was.
I had a
built all those
bear
houses.
in my yard.
Did that pass? Or they?
Oh yeah, they passed it. You know, the thing is that, and this is kind of a tangent, but we have a problem with coyotes coming in and eating
That's
people's
all right.
cats
Good.
and dogs.
Yeah,
Yep.
They're
it's
killing cats and dogs now.
Well,
I
they
had
go
a,
out to the Democrats.
so I had a guy. He was he was working on my bathroom, painting it, whatever, and he lives on Candia Road. He was telling me he had a cat. Middle of the day, coyote came into his yard at like lunchtime and he ate his cat.
it's like a hybrid coyote dog
Yeah.
that they're
Bad.
talking
But the
about.
sad part, because where else do they have to go?
Well, they could stay out in the woods.
Should be
How
like
can they stay out in the woods if people are building condos?
Oh, but this is like Candia Road is pretty well congested.
I don't know if people hunt like they used to. These
No, they
turkeys are everywhere
Yeah,
now.
oh my God.
I'm ready to go get
Where
my
I
turkey
live now.
license. But
One
they're
of my-
everywhere.
Do you have a gun?
And when they start
Where do
flying,
you have a gun?
Oh.
You should get a hat like
where
on
I
the
live now, there's a late. There's a, where I live now, I told Leah I was going to put a curse on her because her and her boyfriend. Scott has a groundhog or and he made a pet of it. They
oh
climb
yeah,
all
yeah.
but they're not
Yeah.
pets.
And, oh yeah, they are.
Well, it's like a gigantic
You know,
rodent.
and this guy thought it would
It's
be cute.
gigantic.
Okay, and he
Big and
shot it.
big.
Oh,
shot
I
it?
remember that. Yeah, you posted about that a while
Oh,
ago
yeah.
on Facebook. You were
And
mad
they-
because
yeah, they're afraid of me now.
Oh, you
the
shot
guy
it?
who shot him.
No, yeah, the guy that shot him.
Who shot him? The neighbor?
Yeah, one of my neighbors.
You can't. But
He moved out
My
of the
father
area.
shot
you
a
can't
groundhog.
shoot the ground. I don't think you're
It's not
allowed.
against
If
the
you
law.
don't have a
in
hunting
a
license,
in a,
do
you
have a
know
hunting license?
housing.
No, it's not against.
Wasn't supposed to
the
do
law.
that.
Really?
And they were shooting my pigeons, and somebody called the police because I complained about it.
Yeah.
And they said, "What's going on?" I said, "I don't appreciate people shooting the woodchuck and the pigeons
Yeah.
around here."
Well, you're not supposed to do
And
that
I
inside
did
city
say,
limits.
Yeah.
so I said to him, when I said to him, I said, "Yeah, I did say I was going to put a curse on him. I didn't do it. I made him think I was going to."
Well, you can't shoot a gun, a rifle in city limits.
Well,
No,
plenty of
that's
people
illegal.
That's a BB gun, so.
Oh, okay.
Well, the police didn't really want to follow through with it, you know. So now the neighbors walk on that they're nice with me because they don't know I'm gonna. You know, the woodchuck has been with us for years and years, you know, and he'd climb on his lap and he would feed it peanuts and pat it, and then we'd get done and go back into.
And they killed him with a BB gun?
Yep.
BB gun could take a. Oh, it must have been a
Yeah.
pellet gun.
You know. I went to deer, but they made a mistake in telling me because we have wondered. We thought it maybe went back to the river. Folks, you know, animals are just as good as we are. Stop trying to kill them. Stop trying to do all these different things. And when you think about going to the polls, it's September 13th.
September 17th is the
17th.
primary. It's at St. Anthony's on Belmont in Somerville.
Yeah, okay,
And-
that's where
and
you
That's
are.
where we
Yeah,
vote. And then
okay.
the general election is November 5th.
Okay.
I'll be there.
Yeah. we're gonna
Stop
be-
by and say hi.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to be, and I'll be going to the, over by Walgreens. What's that street over there? Varney. I go to Varney Street
You go to
School.
Barney.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I have to
And-
go to Rossland.
And she's actually Heidi Hoopa Hoppa.
Oh, the lady that called?
Parker Varney. I don't know who that was.
Hoopa Hoppa there, whatever it is.
Parker
Yeah.
Varney
Hamer?
School.
She's the selectman there, and she's out of the polls.
Heidi Hamer, I think.
No,
Nah.
Chris Messier's
Mo-
ahead, and Heidi's number 2. Moderator.
Yeah, moderator.
One's moderator and one's
yeah,
clerk.
well, yeah, she's a moderator. Well, you didn't vote, so you can't say. I will definitely say I can because I did it absentee. And I said to her, so no. Then I thought all this time because they were giving, and I said, and I went to re-register as a Republican. They said, you're already a Republican. I go, oh, thank you. Best party in Manchester. The lady says, you can't say that. I said, I just did.
Don't you remember when you switched that
Question.
time?
Where does
You were so mad that day, you were telling us.
where does Lou D'Alessandro live? Ward 12?
No, you were at Ward 10.
Yeah,
He
he's
lives
in my
on,
ward.
well, he lives up St. James.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
St.
Ward-
James.
You're in
yeah.
11? Wait,
Well,
No, he's
Well,
in 10.
10.
We're
I'm
all
in
10.
11.
10 is the
Who's
ward.
running in 11 for alderman? Because
It's,
right
Nor.
let me tell you, it's Kamash running for re-election.
And Willette.
Or
Nor-
Russ
and,
Willette.
and, so-
Russ
and that other guy,
Rosa.
I thought
Oh,
Russ
Rosa. Andre
Rosa.
Rosa.
Have you ever seen his
Rosa.
signs?
Yes,
it's a rose and a
rose and it says ah.
I know.
I
But
thought
if you,
Roulette
but you
moved
have
out
to
as
look
a
at the bottom
You
to know who you're
can't
talking
win.
about.
You can't win in Ward 11 unless you have a French name. So you'd have to move over there and change the
Well, no, you know what I
spelling
would
back
do?
to AAU.
I would put a fleur de lis on the zero on the O so they know that I'm a French Canadian.
Oh, like Steve Marchand.
Yes.
You know?
Oh yeah.
You
he
know
was
who I
Woodbury,
had?
right?
He's a fraud
bless
from
it,
that,
Steve
though.
and I didn't get along too well. Steve Valancourt.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But you know what? I had the most respect for him
Why is that?
because he told it like it wasn't.
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't.
He didn't look what he did
Don't
when he went.
sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
And
And
isn't
you're
it
another one.
interesting that what he said about Ray Buckley, all of a sudden the computers in the Democratic headquarters disappeared.
Yeah, it's strange. You know anything about that, Mr. Clark?
You remember that?
I wasn't here when that happened, and if I've looked into and asked people, I don't think Ray Buckley did anything, and
Oh, yes,
I
he
would
did.
say it if I did. There are sources and people tell you stuff.
I believe
He's
he
a
did.
rubber stamp.
Yeah.
Rubber stamp for what?
Democratic, the leader of the Democrat, Ray Buckley.
Rubber stamp for Joe.
Oh yeah, Ray
for
Buckley
George
loves
Strait.
me.
Well, Ross, thanks for coming
Thank you
on.
for having me.
I'm going to try to get you back on before the next
And
election.
you know what? Next time I come on, I'm gonna bring my daughter.
Please do.
And
Please
I've
do.
decided to make Brendan Knows You my co-host.
Really?
Just till the
She
election.
won't come on.
She works.
Who?
She says she works from home and like a computer stuff.
No, she teaches. So.
No, she's a computer person.
just
I do
told
know.
me.
The one
She
thing
does
I
teaching.
know
Yeah,
is that the Spirit said, and your mother, did your mother pass?
No, my father.
Your
passed.
father says he's supporting you, so he's going to make sure. I'm
Can
going
he
to say
vote?
once again, 98% sure.
He
that
was a
he's gonna
Democrat, so he can vote because Democrats can vote wherever and
vote.
when.
Yeah. You know what? I found out
They'll bring him up
my
in a
father.
Massachusetts
My
car.
father died like 50 years ago, okay? And he was he voted, and I called up the voting area in Springfield. I said, how can my father vote since he's dead? They hung up on me.
Were you in
Joe-
Illinois?
No, I was in New Hampshire. Joyce, I want to, Jonathan, for coming on. You too. Hey, you did really well. Thank you. We'll have you back on again. What do you think, Jim?
That's
On
fine.
James, okay? And everybody out there, look around. If you don't vote, shame on you.
Yep.
And remember, every day, you're the winner.